Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Hart Park here in Orange, California, where tonight we present the championship game of the inaugural PBR Invitational here at Hart Park, featuring the Orange Lutheran Lancers against the Yucaipa Thunderbirds. Both of these teams 3-0 coming into tonight's game. Yucaipa, a much tougher road to toe to get to this point than perhaps Orange Lutheran. The Lancers coming off a 5-0 shutout of Huntington Beach at Great Park last week on Thursday. The Thunderbirds had to go 12 innings, but they survived, and they defeated Chaminade at Great Park by a final of 4-3. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Orange, California. Once again, my name is Nathan Percy. A pleasure to have you alongside us. Championship atmosphere here tonight between Orange Lutheran and Yucaipa. For Orange Lutheran, they played in one tournament last year, the J. Sarah Classic, and they came out champions. So this is the second consecutive tournament that they've played in that they've reached a championship game dating back to last season. They get a tough test here tonight in Yucaipa. So how did we get here tonight? Well, this PBR Classic, started a week and a half ago on Saturday. Orange Lutheran here at Hart Park escaped a 2-1 victory over Gar. Meanwhile, Yucaipa in the first round took a 4-0 victory out at Miracosta High School in Manhattan Beach. On Tuesday last week, well, I should say Wednesday last week, the Lancers again had a tough test against Ayala, coming away 4-3 victors in a walk-off fashion as they improved to 2-0. On the other side, Yucaipa needed a walk-off as well as they defeated Harvard Westlake down at J. Sarah Catholic by a final of 6-5. And as we just mentioned on Thursday last week, Luis Rodriguez and Oliver Santos struck out 16 batters combined as the Lancers defeated Huntington Beach 5-0. Mikey Romero provided the big blow in that game offensively for Orange Lutheran with a bases-clearing triple in the bottom of the sixth inning to give Orange Lutheran a cushion going into the top of the seventh. And Luis Rodriguez closed it out. He picked up his first win of the season, going 4 innings in relief in that contest. Oliver Santos went 3 innings of scoreless baseball, but because he did not reach the 4-inning minimum for a starting pitcher, did not get credit for the victory. His will have to wait until perhaps later this week, maybe even the J. Sarah Series next week, as tonight Brady Strom will get the start here for the Lancers. He will be opposed by Carter Herrera, who will get the start for Yucaipa. We'll go over the starting lineups real quick, and then we'll get to our pregame guest. We caught up with Oliver Santos before the game tonight, but first let's go over the starting lineup, starting with the visiting Yucaipa Thunderbirds. Owen Egan plays center field and will bat first. Jacob Reimer, the shortstop, batting second. Wes Hickey, the right fielder, will bat third. Luke Schurer, the catcher, batting fourth. Daniel Arambula, the third baseman, will bat fifth. Chase Antillon, the designated hitter, batting sixth. Wyatt Doty at first base. He'll bat seventh. Isaiah Walls, the second baseman, will bat eighth. And Gavin Egan, the left fielder tonight, will bat ninth. Once again, that's Egan, Reimer, Hickey, Sure, Arambula, and Antillon, Doty, Walls, and Egan. On the other side for Eric Borba's Lancers, again 3-0 to start off. They look like this. Derek Curiel, the center fielder, will lead things off. Mikey Romero, the shortstop, batting second. Casey Borba, the third baseman, will bat third. Gabe Miranda at first base will bat fourth. Brian Martinez in right field will bat fifth. Ben Ryland, the left fielder, will bat sixth. Sawyer Vortman getting the start at designated hitter tonight. He'll bat seventh. Batting eighth and playing catcher Carson Bowen. Chase Cummings, the second baseman, will round it out, batting ninth. Once again, that's Derek Curiel, Romero, Borba, Miranda, Martinez, Ryland, Vortman, Bowen, and Cummings. Well, once again, we caught up earlier tonight with starting pitcher Oliver Santos, first year here at Orange Lutheran after he was homeschooled last year. Got his start at Mater Dei, but wanted to come back to his senior season and make sure that he played for a program that was poised to have a good season, so they decided to come to Orange Lutheran. Again, nothing against Mater Dei. That program is up and coming as well. We will see them in a few weeks' time. But Santos decided to come here, off to a good start. 6 scoreless innings and 2 appearances so far. He has struck out 13 in those 6 innings, and he's walked just 2, although I made a mistake in the interview saying just 1. But either way, a lot of good insights from him here tonight. And without further ado, let's get to our pregame guest, Oliver Santos. All right, I'm here with senior left-handed starting pitcher Oliver Santos, and Oliver, coming into this championship game in the PBR Invitational, obviously a big game for both you and Lewis on the mound.
Yeah.
On Thursday last week, 16 strikeouts combined and a 5-0 victory. What is it like, knowing that you guys are going to be the 1-2 punch this year, and the fact that you guys can work off each other like that?
Yeah, no, I'm just excited for the year. I think we proved that me and Lewis are a really good duo, and something we can use, especially going into CIF when we only have 2 games a week. So I think, for the team to be successful, I think me and Lewis really need to come out this year and give it the best we have.
Yeah, coming into the season, your senior year, you've been around for a bit. Your freshman and sophomore seasons, but coming back your senior year here with Orange Lutheran, what was your mindset coming into the season, getting back into the high school circuit? What were some goals that you had for yourself in the off season to prepare you for this year?
Yeah, so coming into senior year, I just wanted to be the best player I could. I worked hard in the weight room and trying to get my velo up a little. I think it's coming later on in the year. And then, I'm just excited to be able to throw in front of, all the fans we have and hopefully bring a CIF title to Orange Lutheran.
Yeah, now you've got a 4-pitch mix. You're very dangerous on the mound. Obviously, your first 2 starts have been very productive. What have you liked about what you've seen so far?
Yeah, definitely getting back into the mix of things. I've shown all 4 of my pitches. I think I'm still getting a feel for my off-speed pitches. I like how my change-up's been. I think the one thing that I'm going to work on going into my next couple starts is just keeping my pitch count down a little bit more so I can go later on in the game.
Gotcha. Coming into this program, knowing that you're going to be in the Trinity League again, knowing that gauntlet of a schedule, does that excite you? Do you thrive kind of on that competition, that tougher competition?
Yeah, I think the higher the competition, the better the atmosphere is, and the more, it's more exciting. I feel like I don't even get nervous when there's more competition. If anything, it just excites me more.
Yeah. What was it like coming into this program? Did some of the players reach out to you, try to make you feel comfortable? What was that process like for you?
Yeah, so throughout the summer, the summer circuit, I played with Mikey and Carson and Lewis and Gabe. So I kind of knew all these guys coming in, which definitely helped me get better introduced to the program when I got here.
Yeah. Once again, we're here with Oliver Santos. Just a couple more questions from me. When you're on the mound, obviously you're getting the start. You thrive off playing in front of a number of fans and in big time atmospheres. What's your mentality when you're on the mound? I remember I talked with Luis Rodriguez, and he said he just goes up there with the thought that he's better than whoever he's facing. Are you pretty similar? What's your mindset like?
Definitely when I face hitters. I kind of like to pitch backwards. I always have a plan when I'm facing hitters. I'm reading how they swing and personally, one of my favorite things is making a hitter look stupid and feel bad. So, that's kind of my goal on the mound.
Okay, well, you're certainly off to a good start with that. Duke University, that's where you've signed to play baseball. What made that the right choice for you?
Actually, it was between Duke and Stanford, and I went out to the Stanford camp my sophomore year. Loved it. Thought that was the place I was going to go. Told my parents Stanford's where I want to be, and then, they said, no, you agreed. We're going to go out to the Duke camp. We're going to see it. So I went out there the next weekend, and, I just loved everything about it more, the coaching staff, the program, the culture. So that's why I chose Duke.
Proof you got to give everything a chance before you make a decision, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Lastly, when your senior season, before you go off to college ball with these guys, obviously the team goals, and I ask this of every player, but the team goals are league championship, CIF championship. Is there anything that you would like to see yourself improve upon, your senior season before you go off and play college ball?
Yeah, improve upon, definitely, I really hate walking people, and my goal would be to have the least walks in the league for the year. I think that's something that would, for a starter with similar amount of innings, that would get me pretty fired up if I could achieve that.
Well, I think 6 innings, only 1 so far. We're off to a good start in that as well. Oliver, thank you for the time. I really appreciate it, and best of luck to you the rest of the way.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for talking to me today.
Welcome back to Hart Park. Just about set for baseball here on a chilly Monday night here in Southern California. We do have some cloud cover. There's no there's no forecast for rain, but hopefully it stays off here tonight. It is chilly. The wind is coming in from center field as per usual here at Hart Park. But Orange Lutheran has taken to the field. The host Lancers ready to go here against the visiting Yucaipa Thunderbirds. Both teams 3-0 to start their 2022 campaigns. And both teams quarterfinalists in the playoffs last year. Orange Lutheran a semifinalist last year. Yucaipa making it to the D1 quarterfinals. Looking to have a bigger impact here in 2022 under fifth-year head coach Ralph Grajeda, as they will send up a top three that looks like this. Owen Egan, Jacob Reimer, and Wes Hickey due up here in the top of the first for the Thunderbirds against Brady Strom, who gets the start here for Orange Lutheran. He's pitched 2/3 of an inning so far this season. This will be his first official start. Struggled a bit out of the bullpen in game number 2 against Ayala. I take that back. Game number 1 against Gar, as the Gladiators did put up 1 run on 3 hits against him in that ball game. But the sophomore has talent, and he can throw pretty hard. He's going to have to throw his breaking balls 4 strikes here against this Thunderbirds team, according to head coach Eric Borba, if he wants to have success tonight. And we'll see if he can do that here in the early goings. Again, Egan, Reimer, and Hickey to get things going in this championship game of the inaugural PBR Invitational to end a 4-day tournament, or a week and a half, with 14 of the best teams in Southern California. It's been a good one so far. Only one other game going on right now, and that's Jay Serra taking on Harvard Westlake. That game down in San Juan Capistrano. It started about 33 minutes before ours did, and that's a rematch of last year's CIF Southern Section Division I championship game, a game in which Harvard Westlake won by a final of 3-1. So Owen Egan stepping in, ready to go here. Again, Yucaipa coming off a 12-inning 4-3 victory over Chaminade down at Great Park in Irvine. Their game was going on at the same time ours was against Huntington Beach. They were there late. Luckily, they had a couple of days to prepare for this one. As Strom, first pitch is up and inside, and we are underway here on a breezy, cool Monday night here in Orange. First pitch off the plate. 1-0 the count as we start to feel a bit of a sprinkle from upstairs, as this one is just a bit low. The count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. Owen Egan 1 for 4 with a run scored against Chaminade. Right-hander even stance at the plate against the right-handed Strom. That pitch is just a bit outside. It's 3 balls and no strikes to get us going here tonight. Jacob Reimer on deck, and Wes Hickey in the hole. If anybody gets on, Luke Schur. After this batter, we'll get the Lancers defense, as that one's in there for a strike. It's 3-1. Owen Egan verbally committed to UCLA. He's in his junior season, stands mostly straight up in the box. If anything, bends the knees ever so slightly. 3 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch, and that one hits the inside edge above the belt. The count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yucaipa wearing their alternate dark gray uniforms tonight, with Yucaipa written in navy blue letters on the chest, navy blue numbers in the back, and gold trim. Here comes the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed, and Strom comes back from a 3-0 deficit to get Owen Egan to open up the contest. 1 out, nobody on. That'll bring up Jacob Reimer. Big start there for Brady Strom. That'll get a little bit of confidence in him as Jacob Reimer steps in. Another dangerous batter here for Yucaipa, as he'll play shortstop tonight. Around the horn for the Lancers, Carson Bowen, your catcher tonight. Over at first, Gabe Miranda. Chase Cummings at second. Mikey Romero at short. Casey Borba at third, as this pitch is fouled off. In left field is the sophomore Ben Ryland, sophomore Derek Curiel in center, and Brian Martinez, the senior, in right field. You can hear that wind coming in from pretty much straightaway center. It's stronger than usual here tonight. As Reimer digs back in. No balls, 1 strike. Here comes the pitch. Curveball stays upstairs, and the count goes to 1-1. Jacob Reimer 1 for 3 with a run. 1 for 5 hit a home run. Believe his was what ended up being the game winner in the 12th inning against Chaminade. That was his only hit. Here comes the 1-1. Curveball again stays a bit above the letters, and the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Jacob Reimer, just like his counterpart, Mikey Romero. Some talks of him being a high-round draft pick after this season in June. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here comes the pitch. This one lifted into center field. Curiel goes back and a bit towards his left. The wind is taking it. He's got to step on his horse a bit, but he does find it and make the catch in straightaway right center for out number 2. Well, that's the kind of atmosphere that both teams will deal with here tonight. That ball started about dead center, maybe just a bit to the right of it, and it drifted pretty much all the way into right center before Curiel got to it. And with 2 outs, nobody on, Wes Hickey will be the next man up. All righties to start here for Grajada's Thunderbirds. First pitch from Strom. That one's a good breaking ball in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Wes Hickey on Thursday night, 1 for 3 with a run scored. He also struck out once in that contest against Chaminade. No balls, 1 strike. Open stance for the right-hander as he waves the bat. Here comes the pitch, and that one misses just a hair off the plate to the outside, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, Luke Schur is on deck. No score. 3 batters in here in the top of the first. Nobody on base for Yucaipa. Here comes the 1-1 from Strom. Swung on and missed 1-2. Took something off it there. And the sophomore gets ahead. Wes Hickey, also in his sophomore season. He's verbally committed to Washington, one of 2 who are committed there. Reimer is the other one. Here comes the 1-2. This one fouled off to the right-hand side, just over the head of the man on deck. The count is 1-2. Again, that wind is blowing strong, a little bit more towards the first baseline now, according to Old Glory out there in center field. Temperature in the mid-50s to start this one here as Strom prepares for the 1-2. The sophomore kicks and deals. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Good start for Brady Strom as Wes Hickey goes down. A 1-2-3 inning for the sophomore on the hill with a pair of strikeouts to open up the ball game. And after half an inning, Yucaipa nothing. Orange Lutheran coming up. This is Lancers Baseball on CA Sports Zone and the Coaches Radar. So again, both of these teams 3-0. Orange Lutheran trying to go 4-0 for the first time since 2020 and just the second time since 2010. Hard to believe that the Lancers have only done that twice in the last 13 or so years. But again, that's just a testament to the tough schedule that Orange Lutheran plays year in and year out. As Yucaipa looking to spoil it here and take this tournament championship and start 4-0 themselves. On the mound, it'll be Carter Herrera, Cal State Fullerton commit, the right-handed senior ready to go. He'll be matched up with Luke Schur behind the plate, and he will he will battle against Curiel, Romero, and Borba here to start off the bottom of the first. For Herrera, he's appeared twice this season already. He got the win in the season opener against Miracosta, going 5 innings of work there. And then he came in for an inning in game number 2 against Harvard Westlake. Didn't give up any runs there, so no ERA to speak of, a 1-0 record. And in 6 innings of work, he's allowed 7 hits and struck out 6. He has walked 4, however. And Orange Lutheran knows that it will have to be prepared to deal with the secondary stuff as well. Carter Herrera gets set to go. Derek Curiel just about ready in the on-deck circle, and we'll just about be underway here in the bottom of the first. Yucaipa coming off a season last year in which it went 21-10. Orange Lutheran 30-6 last year. Most wins for a season for the baseball program in school history, a record they've broken 3 out of the last 4 years. As Derek Curiel steps in. once again in the leadoff spot here for Orange Lutheran. He's coming off an 0 for 2 performance with a run scored against Huntington Beach. That one in there for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. He was one of the 3 that came around on the Mikey Romero bases clearing triple. And the sophomore steps in behind 0-1. Left-hander, slightly closed stance here tonight. Here comes the pitch, and this one a ground ball hit sharply to second base, picked up, throw over to first in time. And Isaiah Walls retires Curiel to start the bottom of the first. Round the horn for the Thunderbirds. Luke Schurer, the junior behind the plate. Wyatt Doty, the senior at first. Isaiah Walls, a junior at second base. Jacob Reimer, the senior at short. Daniel Arambula, the sophomore at third. Gavin Egan in left. Owen Egan, the junior in center. And Wes Hickey, a sophomore in right. So both teams with plenty of sophomores in the lineup here tonight as Romero takes a swing and a miss on a pitch on the outer half of the plate. The count is 0-1. Again, Romero had the big hit last night, 1 for 4, but 3 runs batted in. This one he lays off of, and the count goes to 1-1. Romero about 6'1". Again, 1 for 4, 3 RBIs. 3 hits on the year. Here comes the pitch, and this one is swung on and missed. Count goes to 1-2. Herrera going with the off-speed stuff so far here to the senior left-hander. Even stance for him. Here comes the 1-2. Curveball. This one lined into left center. That's going to fall for a base hit. And a good 2-strike approach there for Romero. Takes it slightly the opposite way. And the Lancers have a base runner with 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Hit number 4 on the year for Mikey Romero. And a good start for the senior as Casey Borba will make his way to the plate. Borba 0 for 3, batting out of the 2 spot on Thursday. Did score a run. And the junior this year with a couple of RBIs coming in the season opener. Takes a fastball just inside, and the count is 1 ball, no strikes. First right-hander in the lineup here for the Lancers. So the wind continues to blow fairly hard behind home plate here. Say it is sprinkling at the moment, but barely if you want to call it that. Here comes the 1-0. That one's in there for a strike, and the count is 1-1. See what they do with Romero over at first. See if they try to test his speed here against Carter Herrera. Again, Herrera is the guy who got the opening day nod for the Thunderbirds. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes the pitch to Borba. This one popped up, fouling out of play to the right. It's 1-2. Borba's got a couple of line drives to his credit towards the left side of the field. One of them brought home a run in the opener against Scar down the left field line. That one went for a double. His lone extra base hit in the young season. Coming off a year in which he batted .333. For a guy who was a sophomore batting in the cleanup spot for most of the year. Here's the pitch. This one lifted out towards left center. Coming in for it is Owen Egan, and he will make the running catch in shallow center for out number 2. Back to first goes Romero, and with 2 outs and 1 on, Gabe Miranda will be the next man up. So the Texas commit retired by the UCLA commit out there in center field, and now it's Gabe Miranda's turn. He's already had a special moment here at Hart Park this season. Right now, just trying to put a runner in scoring position and keep the inning going. Here comes the pitch, and it's well outside. Maybe a pitch out there for Herrera. Checking on Romero, but he's not going anywhere. It's 1 ball and no strikes. So 3 of the first 4 in the lineup for the Lancers tonight, left-handers. 1 ball, no strikes. Here comes the pitch, and this one in there for, swung on and missed. It's 1-1. Couple of fastballs so far here on the 6'3" TCU committed Gabe Miranda. Against Huntington Beach, went 0 for 3 with a strikeout, looking to get back on track. Couple of high fly balls in that game from him as well, as this one is swung on and missed. It's 1-2. Brian Martinez on deck. Over at first, Mikey Romero, 1 on, 2 outs, bottom of the first. No score between Orange Lutheran and Yucaipa. Oddly enough, the right fielder is nowhere near the line for Miranda, who is a pull hitter. This one, another fastball up and away, perhaps a pitch out, and the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Owen Egan playing dead center. And in left field, Gavin Egan is actually a little bit closer to the line, thinking he's going to go opposite field, perhaps. 2-2. And here's a ground ball towards the right side through the hole. Romero's going to stop at second. A single for Gabe Miranda and a couple of hits here in the early going against Carter Herrera. And with 2 on and 2 outs, it'll be Brian Martinez with an RBI opportunity here in the bottom of the first. Hard hit bouncing ball right between Walls and Doty on the right side of the infield, and Miranda's got his 3rd hit of the year.
Right fielder, number 23, Brian Martinez.
So Martinez will step in. He was hitless against Huntington Beach, but drew a pair of walks. Also scored a run in that contest. Right-hander, even stance at the plate. Herrera looks back at second. Here comes the pitch, and this one misses low. It's 1-0. Already a good start offensively here for the Lancers. They've at times struggled to collect hits this year. In fact, coming into this game tonight, they've averaged 5 hits per game, 15, with a team batting average of .211. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch, and a ground ball hit towards short. Picked up by Reimer. He'll go the short route to second, and that'll do it for the bottom of the first inning. But the Lancers do get a couple of base runners, no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. They'll have to try again in the second. We're through 1 here at Hart Park. No score between Orange Lutheran and Yucaipa. This is Lancers Baseball on CA Sports Zone and the Coach's Radar.
Chilled sodas and water, hot coffee and cocoa.
Welcome back to Hart Park. Top of the second inning we go. No score between Orange Lutheran and Yucaipa. This is the PBR Invitational Championship game, and you're listening to it live here on CA Sports Zone and watching it through the Coach's Radar. I'm Nathan Percy. A pleasure to have you alongside us on this cold night here in Orange, California. As Brady Strom takes to the hill once again, he'll face off against the middle of the Thunderbirds order. Luke Schur, Daniel Arambula, and Chase Santillon due up. If anybody gets on base, Wyatt Doty, the first baseman, will be due up 4th. 2 strikeouts, a fly ball out to center field in the top of the first inning for Yucaipa. Right-hander in the batter's box here, a slightly open stance for Luke Schur. As Strom fires the first pitch, a breaking ball in there for a called strike. It's 0-1. Luke Schur committed to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. He is playing catcher here tonight. Here comes the 0-1. Fastball bounces in and away from Carson Bowen. It's 1-1. In fact, this Yucaipa team, 18 on the roster, although you have a 19th with Gavin Egan, who is not on the list that I've got. 10 of them are committed to playing collegiate baseball. Pretty good numbers there for head coach Ralph Grajeda. Here's a line shot down the left field line. That's going to fall for extra bases. Sure rounds first. He'll head to second. It's a leadoff double for Yucaipa as Orange Lutheran just now starting to bring it back in. That one was ripped down the left field line. And a good start here in the top of the second for the Thunderbirds. And with the man in scoring position, nobody out, Daniel Arambula will be the next man up.
Batting fifth, third baseman, number 23.
Ryland had to chase that one down into the corner as it bounced off the fence. And now Arambula already with an RBI opportunity. This team can hit. Roster's small, but they are talented. So Arambula crowds the plate. He's playing third base tonight. Sure over at second base. Here comes the pitch, showing bunt. He gets it down to the third base side. Strom will pick it up, throw over to first. That's his only option, and he will get the runner there. Sacrifice works. It gets Sure over to third. And with one out and a runner 90 feet from the plate, Chase Antillon will be the next man up.
Designated hitter.
So that'll go as a sacrifice, 1-3 on the putout. And Antillon stepping in here. For those watching on the coach's radar, you see a brace on that right knee. He recovered from a knee injury 2 months ahead of schedule, according to Coach Grajeda. That's allowed him to be on the field here for his senior season. Here comes the first pitch and a check swing. Breaking ball bounces away from Bowen, but staying at third is Sure. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Something Grajeda was very happy about, the fact that his senior will have an opportunity to play his final season of collegiate baseball. Pardon me, he's listed as a junior, my mistake. Either way, though, high school ball, you don't want to lose an opportunity to season because of an injury. This one a bunt attempt, but it's inside and then pushed foul to the right. The count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Cal Baptist University, verbal commitment from the man at the plate, Chase Antillon. RBI opportunity for him here with Luke Sure over at third base, and Wyatt Doty is on deck. 1 ball, 1 strike, no score between these two teams. That double by Sure, the first hit of the ball game for Yucaipa. Defending Citrus Belt League champions. Both of these leagues are off to good starts, by the way. Here comes the pitch, and here's one hit the opposite way. That's going to fall for a base hit. Takes a weird hop, and Martinez has to get to it, but they'll keep Antillon at first. Sure comes around to score. It's an RBI base hit. Yucaipa strikes first with 1 out here in the top of the second. It's 1-0.
Batting seventh, first baseman.
So Chase Antillon brings home Sure. Nice piece of hitting to the opposite field, and that'll bring up Wyatt Doty with a runner at first and 1 out. Doty playing first base, a right-hander with an even stance at the plate. Strom trying to bounce back after giving up that RBI base hit. Here comes the first pitch. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count goes to 0-1. Doty 0 for 3 against Chaminade. He did score a run. He walked but struck out 3 times in that ball game. And again, in that game, Yucaipa had 40 at-bats. Came away with 5 base hits. So looking to get that offense going here against Orange Lutheran. Strom looks over his shoulder, fires to the plate. Another breaking ball blocked well by Bowen. The count's 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-0 Yucaipa, both teams now with 2 hits. Orange Lutheran will have the middle of the order due up in the bottom of the second inning, 6, 7, and 8 rather. One ball, 1 strike. Strom out of the stretch. Looks over his shoulder a couple of times. There goes the runner. Here's the pitch. It's fouled off to the right. Fastball there, and the count goes to 1-2. Back to first goes Chase Antillon. When you look at the records for teams in both of these leagues, so far no Trinity League team has lost this season. On the other side, winning records for 5 of the 6 teams in the Citrus Belt League so far. Yucaipa the only one left undefeated. at 3-0. Redlands, Cajon, and Citrus Valley all 4-1 after victories on Saturday. Here comes the 1-2. This one fouled off to the right again. And the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. For the Trinity League, Orange Lutheran and J. Sarah both 3-0 in this tournament. St. John Bosco off to a 3-0 start. Their last win was over Woodbridge 8-1. Servite 2-0 in the Loera tournament, which started on Friday. And Mater Dei, walk-off win in their season opener against Cypress over the weekend, 5-4. Here's a swing and a miss on a beautifully placed breaking ball there from Brady Strom. And that gets Wyatt Doty for out number 2. Third strikeout of the ball game for Strom, and with 2 outs and 1 on, it'll be Isaiah Walls due up next here for the Thunderbirds.
Number 2, Isaiah Walls.
Of course, for Santa Margarita, they open up this week against Gar High School. That rounds out the Trinity League. Throw over to first, nearly gets away from Gabe Miranda, who has to reach across his body to get to it. Isaiah Walls 0 for 5, also had 3 strikeouts against Chaminade on Thursday. Another right-hander here, even stance at the plate. If anything, maybe just a hair closed. Here comes the pitch. There goes the runner. Actually, he bluffs, pardon me. And it's upstairs. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. Again, 1-0 if you just joined us. Yucaipa putting a run across the plate here in the top of the second on an RBI base hit by Chase Antion, who's over at first. Luke Schur started off the inning with a double, was sacrificed over to third before the RBI base hit. Strom bounced back and struck out Wyatt Doty, and here we are with Isaiah Walls. This one up and in. The count, oh, pardon me, that one's in there for a called strike. It's 1-1. Walls trying to get out of the way of it as if it was high and tight, but the home plate umpire giving Brady Strom the favor there. 1 ball, 1 strike. The sophomore right-hander will fire to first. Orange Lutheran did have somebody warming up in the bullpen in the first inning, but nobody at the moment. Antion with a decent lead over there at first as Strom has his sign. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here it comes from the right-hander. Fastball a bit outside, 2-1. For the Lancers, second time that they've allowed the opposing team to score first. Against Gar, the Gladiators scored in the top half of the 5th inning. Orange Lutheran came back immediately with a run in the bottom of the 5th and then got another one in the bottom of the 6th to win 2-1. So the Lancers are 1-0 and allowing their opponent to score first. Here's a ground ball to second. It's picked up by Cummings. He goes the short route to Romero at second base. And that will do it for the top of the second. But the Thunderbirds push across 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We are through 1.5 innings of play. Yucaipa 1, Orange Lutheran 0. This is Lancers Baseball on CA Sports Zone and the Coach's Radar. Folks, while we have a moment, we'd like to let you know that Lancer Baseball sponsor K-Zone Training Center is an indoor baseball and softball training facility located in Yorba Linda. Open 7 days a week, it offers 5 lanes, including 2 with pitching mounds and hack attack machines, 3 tee hitting areas, and hit tracks. Appointments can be booked online at kzonebpcages.com. That's kzonebpcages.com, K-Zone Training Center. Book your appointment today. Baseball fans, are you looking for a reliable, cost-effective commercial cleaning company in Orange County? Then contact Jet Clean Janitorial at jetcleaninc.com to handle all your commercial cleaning needs. Jet Clean, the finest and the fastest, guaranteed. So as we head to the bottom of the second inning for the Lancers, it'll be Ben Ryland, Sawyer Vortman, and Carson Bowen. As Carter Herrera takes over on the mound once again, allowed a pair of base hits, but Orange Lutheran left him stranded at first and second. They'll try to claw back into this one, down 1-0. Both teams with 2 hits to this point. Ben Ryland had a big RBI base hit to open up the scoring against Huntington Beach on Thursday. The sophomore ended up going 1 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI in that game as he watches a first pitch off the plate there from Carter Herrera, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Sophomore is a left-hander, even stance at the plate, watches this fastball miss low and outside. It's 2-0. Ryland's a patient hitter, very selective at the plate. Comes in after a season batting .231 as a freshman, playing left field tonight like he did for most of his starts last year. This one fouled off, and the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Ben Ryland, one of 5 sophomores between these two teams, ranked in the top 55 in their class in the PBR rankings. This one is swung on and missed. A breaking ball there from Herrera. The count is 2-2. Ryland comes in at number 9 in that class. Only one of those 5 ahead of him, and that's Derek Curiel, the leadoff batter for Orange Lutheran. He's number 2 in California. Here comes the 2-2. This one a ground ball towards first base. Picked up by Doty. He'll take it to the bag himself. And Ryland is retired for out number 1. Easy play there for Doty. Hard hit there by Ryland, but right at Doty, the first baseman, and he takes care of it with ease, 1 away. Sawyer Vortman will be the next man up. Tonight's designated hitter did not play against Huntington Beach, but he's got 1 hit in each of the first 2 games of the year. First pitch shows bunt, pulls it back. It's a breaking ball that tails away from the right-hander. 1 ball and no strikes. .400 batting average in 2 games this year, 2 for 5, including the game-winning hit, or what ended up being the game-winning hit against Gar High School in the opener. Fastball misses a bit away, and the count is 2 balls and no strikes. Slightly close stance here for Vortman. In his senior season, here comes the 2-0. That one's in there for a strike. It's 2-1. Playing left field. He's also pitched in the past for the Lancers. Here comes the 2-1 pitch, and that fastball misses a bit outside. Good hitter's count here for Vortman. 3 balls and 1 strike. 1 out, bottom of the second, a 1-0 lead for Yucaipa. Carson Bowen on deck. This one a hard hit ground ball. That one gets through a diving third baseman, Daniel Arambula. And staying at first is Vortman. 3rd hit of the ball game here for the Lancers, and a 1-out base runner for Carson Bowen. Got himself into a good hitter's count, did not miss his opportunity, and hit a hard hit ground ball into left field just underneath the sophomore 3rd baseman. So the Lancers with a runner on base for the 2nd straight inning here as Carson Bowen steps in. In the 8th spot here tonight. 1 for 1 with a couple of walks. This one a ground ball that gets through on the right side. Rounding second and going to third is Vortman. It's bobbled by the right fielder. They'll stop Vortman at third. Sliding into second is Carson Bowen. And the Lancers with a good opportunity here with 2 in scoring position. And Chase Cummings due up next. Vortman was thinking 3 all the way and got there. Bowen was able to reach second after it was bobbled in right field by Hickey, and then he slid trying to pick it up and had to throw it from his backside back into the infield. So the Lancers stringing hits together here in this 2nd inning, and let's see if Chase Cummings can keep it going. Herrera in a bit of trouble here, trying to preserve his team's 1-0 lead. Vortman at third. At second base is Bowen. Here comes the first pitch on Cummings. Breaking ball upstairs. It's 1-0. Cummings in the 9 spot on Thursday had an RBI, 1 for 2. It was a squeeze bunt in which he ended up getting on first. Perfectly placed down the third base line. It scored Ryland from third. 1-0. Breaking ball tails outside to the right-hander. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Mentioned that Cummings has an older brother in the Padres minor league system. It's Cole Cummings. Trying to figure out the name there a couple nights ago. Looked it up finally. 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch, and this one fouled off the catcher's mask. And the count goes to 2-1. Chase Cummings in his senior season. About 6 feet even, and could be a mainstay over at second base. He split time with Casey Borba at third base last year. Made a couple of starts at second base. That was with Justin DeCrisio at shortstop until Mikey Romero was healthy enough to take the field late in the year. Now he works with Mikey Romero up the middle. Here's the 2-1, and this one fouled off to the right. Boy, a lot of baseballs are getting through that netting on that side. Be careful. Down the first base side, if you're part of the Yucaipa faithful over there, this account evens out 2 balls and 2 strikes. Scoring opportunity here for the Lancers. Down 1-0. Runners at second and third with 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. Here comes the 2-2. A ground ball towards third. Arambula picks it up. He'll throw over to first. That's going to score a run, however, as Vortman comes across on the RBI ground out by Chase Cummings. And we are all knotted up at 1 as Carson Bowen stays at second base. So it's a 5-3 putout, but it is an RBI for Chase Cummings, his 3rd of the year. Pardon me, his 2nd of the year. And that will bring up Derek Curiel with a runner in scoring position. Curiel 0 for 1. He grounded out to second his first time up. Lancers have tied it up here as Herrera kicks and deals, and this one is swung on and missed. A fastball just below the letter. Count goes to 0-1. That's twice now this year that the Lancers have given up a run and have come right back to tie things up. Herrera looks back at second base a couple of times here before he fires to the plate. This one fouled off to the left, and it's an 0-2 count here on the leadoff man, Derek Curiel. That is also the first run that Herrera has allowed this season. And it comes in his 8th inning of work here in his senior campaign. Senior right-hander ready to go on the mound. Bowen with a good lead over at second. Here comes the pitch, and this one a ground ball to second. Under the glove of second baseman Walls. Bowen will round third and come around to score. It's a 2-1 Lancer lead on the RBI single by Derek Curiel. As the Lancers have responded here in the bottom half of the second.
Now batting for your Lancers.
Ground ball to second base once again, but it's just under the glove of the of the second baseman Walls. They might have called that one an error, as this one, is lifted up into foul territory down the left field line, and that will fall. Actually, that's not an error. The error was on Wes Hickey out in right field earlier in this inning. So that's hit number 5 for Orange Lutheran here tonight, and it nets Derek Curiel his 2nd run batted in of the year. So the Lancers saw that run by the Thunderbirds in the top of the second inning. They've come back with 2 here and a speedster over at first base with Mikey Romero at the plate looking at an 0-1 count here on Carter Herrera. Herrera kicks and deals. That one's a bit up and away to the left-hander, and the count is 1-1. Again, 4 left-handers in the lineup for Orange Lutheran tonight, 3 of them in the top 4 batters. Curiel gets his lead over at first. As Herrera stands tall, here comes the pitch, and this one lifted foul down the left field line and out of play, and the count is 1-2. 1 for 1, Romero singled and was stranded at second back in the first inning. 2 batters later, Gabe Miranda followed up with a single. 5 hits already here in 2 innings matching the Lancers' average over the first 3 games of the year. Romero came in with 3 hits on the year, picked up his 4th. No other Lancer had more than 2 coming into the game here tonight. Here comes the 1-2, and this one poked down the third base line. It's picked up by Arambula across the diamond throw, and it's in time as Romero is retired for out number 3. But the Lancers answer the 1 run given up in the top of the second with 2 here in the bottom half. 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, 1 error, and 1 left on base. We are through 2 here at Hart Park, and the Lancers lead Yucaipa 2-1. This is Lancers Baseball on CA Sports Zone and the Coach's Radar.
To do this, the players are tracking their total runs scored throughout.
Brady Strom now pitching with the lead here as we head to the top of the third at Hart Park. 2-1 Orange Lutheran as the Thunderbirds will send up Gavin Egan, Owen Egan, and Jacob Reimer 9-1 and 2 in the order. Here against the sophomore right-hander who gave up a run on 2 hits in the second inning, but he's got 3 strikeouts to his credit as well. And he gets to start with the bottom of the order here in the third. For Brady Strom, his first start on varsity, his second appearance in a ball game this season, and again in his sophomore season. Right-hander kicks and deals. Here comes the pitch, and this one's inside on Gavin Egan, playing left field tonight. The count goes to 1 ball and no strikes. Couple of sophomores on the mound for the Lancers that Eric Borba is excited about this year as this one is lifted into left center field. It's Curiel calling everybody off. Pardon me, that's Ben Ryland who will step in front of Curiel and make the catch. Ryland's out there with the hands up, shrugging, I didn't hear you. And that'll be the first out anyway with 1 out, nobody on. Owen Egan will be due up next.
Number 13, Owen.
Either way, the catch was made. It's all good. Owen Egan will step in, 0 for 1 so far today. He struck out to open up the ball game. But back to those sophomores on the mound, it's Brady Strom and Ross Clark who have both now gotten 1 start for the Lancers this year. Clark went 3 innings of work against Ayala and did not give up any runs. I believe he struck out 5 in that ball game, and Strom right now is at 3 as the first pitch misses outside to the right-hander, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Here comes the 1-0. And that one's a bit upstairs as well. 2 balls and no strikes. I believe, and I could be wrong, but if memory serves me correct, every batter in the Yucaipa lineup tonight is right-handed. Owen Egan at the top of the order, ahead of the count 2-0. Swings and misses through a fastball there, and the count goes to 2-1. Big gap in right center if Egan can find it. It's Brian Martinez playing fairly close to the line out there. Here comes the pitch. That one's a good one on the inside half, and the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, Egan, the verbal commitment to UCLA last year as a sophomore, .384 batting average and a team-high 43 hits for him. He calls for time. It's granted. 2-2 is the count. A 2-1 Lancer lead just underway here in the top of the third. 1 out, nobody on for Yucaipa. So again, .384 average and a team-high 43 hits for Egan. This curveball is called strike 3 as the umpire says it hits the letters. And Egan, for the second time tonight, is out on strikes for out number 2. Jacob Reimer will come up next with nobody on and 2 outs.
Shortstop, number 9, Jacob Reimer.
Reimer flew out to left center his first, or pardon me, right center his first time up. That ball that kept drifting away from Derek Curiel as he chased it down, but finally made the catch. Reimer will try to get something going here with 2 outs. Strome looking for a clean inning. Here comes the first pitch, and that one's in there for a called strike. It's 0-1. Reimer, a season ago as a junior, .440 batting average, 40 hits, 32 runs scored, and 33 runs batted in. Open stance, has the front heel up off the ground. A curveball in there for a strike, and it's 0-2. Back to Reimer. 20 extra base hits last year, including a team-high 7 homers. 40 base hits was third for him on the team last year, but it would have led Orange Lutheran. Justin DeCrisio led the Lancers with 37 base hits a season ago for comparison. Here's a line drive out to left field. Ryland chasing it down, makes the diving catch. Holy cow! What a play by the sophomore, and that ends the inning for Yucaipa. 1-2-3 inning for Strome. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Full extension for Ryland in left center, and he makes the catch for the final out of the inning. We head to the bottom of the third. Orange Lutheran 2 and Yucaipa 1. This is Lancers Baseball on CA Sports Zone and the Coach's Radar.
508-8620. Once again, that's Innovative Career Resources and Staffing. 714.
Boy, I'm glad we got that one on video. Ben Ryland, what a catch out there in left field. Folks, keep competing with McDavid, a proud sponsor of OLU Baseball. McDavid specializes in sports medicine, protective gear, and recovery items. Are you in need of ankle braces, knee supports, compression, and more? Then visit McDavidUSA.com and use promotion code OLU15 and receive 15% off your purchase. Once again, that's McDavidUSA.com and use promotion code OLU15 and receive 15% off your purchase. Jacob Reimer robbed of a hit to end the top half of the inning for Carter Herrera back on the mound. He'll face the heart of the Lancer order. Casey Borba, Gabe Miranda, and Brian Martinez due up in this inning. This part of the lineup the first time through, 1 for 3. Gabe Miranda with the base hit back in the first. If anybody gets on base, Ben Ryland would be due up 4th. Boy, what a spectacular catch. That's going to be talked about for a while, I'm sure, as Casey Borba heads into the plate. Fly ball out to center his first time up. He's 0 for 1. First pitch here from Herrera. And that fastball's at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. 1 run in the top of the second for the Thunderbirds. 2 in the bottom half of that inning for Orange Lutheran. Lancers lead 2-1. 2 runs on 5 hits, no errors through 2 innings of work offensively for Orange Lutheran. 1 run on 2 hits for Yucaipa through 3. Here's the pitch, and here's a chopper foul down the third base line. It's 0-2. Gabe Miranda on deck. Casey Borba through 3 games this season, 2 for 9 with a run scored and an RBI. I forgot to update the averages. It says 330, but that's a 222 average. Here comes the 0-2. That one bounces in. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Goes to show you can never be too prepared, and you always have to double check everything before you print stuff out. Here comes the pitch, 1-2, breaking ball, good awareness there. He lays off, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Casey Borba, talked about it a season ago, a .333 batting average. He ended up with 25 runs batted in on 33 hits. Here's a ground ball, again foul down the third base line as Borba stays alive, 2-2. Again, that RBI. Game number 1, scored the first run of the season for the Lancers as Mikey Romero came around to score on that base hit. Tied things up against Gar in the bottom half of the 5th inning in that one. Borba shortens up the stance. Here comes the pitch, and that one just misses the outside edge. Full count, 3-2. Six doubles for Borba last season. Again, with the Lancers playing here at Hart Park, those offensive numbers not quite as high as they would be in other areas, as this one bounces and away from the catcher, Luke Schur, and Borba's got a leadoff walk down to first base. Leadoff man on for the first time tonight here for Orange Lutheran, and with one on, nobody out, Gabe Miranda will be the next man up. Especially on a night like tonight where the wind is blowing in from center. However, that hasn't stopped some from trying to take it into the outfield, including Reimer, who's got a couple of fly ball outs tonight. Here comes the first pitch, and this one is rifled down the right field line, and that will stay fair. Going to third base is Borba. They're going to wave him around as Miranda heading to third. Borba coming in to score. It's 3-1 Orange Lutheran. RBI triple for the senior, Gabe Miranda. Didn't look up to check and see where Hickey was before that ball was hit. It was right down the right field line, but remember, back in the first inning, he was quite a ways off the right field line, and Miranda known for being a pull hitter. This time around it pays off as he puts himself at third base and drives home a run, his second run batted in of the year. And that brings out Coach Grajeda to have a quick chat here with his infield and his starting pitcher before Brian Martinez heads to the plate. So a runner at third and a run across here for Orange Lutheran as they take a 2-run lead with nobody out here in the bottom of the third. Doty playing in at first as this first pitch is popped up foul and out of play to the right, 0-1. Arambula's playing even at the third base bag, and the middle infielders playing deep at their positions. Doty hoping to cut off a ground ball to throw home if he gets the opportunity. Nice looking curveball there from Herrera, and that puts Martinez in a hole, no balls and 2 strikes. Miranda over at third. Even stance here for Martinez. Bends the knees a bit. Waits for this one. Pops it up in foul territory down the right field line, and it will fall. Nobody will get there. Not for lack of effort, however, for Yucaipa. Hickey, Walls, and Doty at right field, second and first, respectively, all going after that one. Martinez will have one more opportunity at least. The count remains 0-2. First extra base hit of the night for the Lancers, Gabe Miranda. He's now got a double, a triple, and a homer this year. Here comes the 0-2. This one poked into right field again. This one might be playable out there for Hickey. He'll make the catch in fair territory. Miranda will tag from third and will score with ease as the throw goes to second baseman Walls. It's a sacrifice fly for Martinez, and it's a 4-1 lead now for Orange Lutheran. Right now, the Lancers just taking advantage of the wind blowing towards right field. Most of their hits have gone in that direction, and now it's Ben Ryland up with one out, nobody on. Here comes the pitch, and this one is fouled straight back, and the count is 0-1. Just missing on a couple of those fastballs so far is Ben Ryland. Left-hander, even stance at the plate. Here comes the 0-1 offering. Fastball up and away. The count is 1 ball and 1 strike. So after Carter Herrera, 5 scoreless innings in the opener against Miracosta, and then an inning of scoreless relief against Harvard Westlake, he's found some trouble here tonight against the Lancers. Here comes the 1-1, and this one's a line drive. One hopper through the right side of the infield. Now Ryland's got a base hit. 7 hits in the ball game for the Lancers to this point. And that'll keep the inning going here for Sawyer Vortman. Once again, the score 4-1 with one out here in the bottom of the third. The Lancers have put up a pair of runs in each of the last 2 innings. And as of right now, they've already gotten to a new high in terms of hits in a ball game. Here was 7. First pitch of the ball, or pardon me, of the at bat here to Vortman is outside, and the count's 1-0. Vortman 1 for 1 tonight. He singled and scored back in the second inning. One ball, no strikes out of the stretch. Herrera, this one a bunt attempt, but it's fouled off, and the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Bowen on deck. He's 1 for 1. So Orange Lutheran now getting contributions from just about every part of the lineup. In fact, to this point, only 2 have not reached base, but they've both contributed. Here comes the pitch, and here's a line drive out to left. That's going to fall. Ryland will stop at second. And the hit parade continues here for the Lancers. Vortman now 2 for 2. Soft liner out to left field, well out of the reach of Reimer at short, and now it's Carson Bowen with 2 on and 1 out. The only 2 who have yet to reach base tonight for Orange Lutheran are Brian Martinez and Chase Cummings, but they both have runs batted in here in the contest. Martinez a sacrifice fly earlier in this inning, and Chase Cummings an RBI ground out to tie up the ball game back in the second. So even though they haven't gotten on base, they have contributed. 8th hit of the ball game by Vortman as Bowen steps in. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball in there for a strike, and the count is 0-1. Bowen singled and scored back in the second inning. He scored an RBI base hit by Derek Curiel. Wind has calmed down a little bit out there in center. At least back here anyway. The flag is still waving. Here comes the 0-1. Shows bunt, pulls it back, and that one is not called. 1 ball and 1 strike. Looked like a breaking ball there from Herrera. Yucaipa is sending a pitcher to warm up in the bullpen. It is a left-hander. Orange Lutheran not warming anybody up. We have to think Strome is going to come out for at least 1 more. 1 out, bottom of the third. Ryland at second, over at first is Sawyer Vortman. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes the pitch from Herrera. Nice breaking ball there as it hits the zone, 1-2. Bowen about 5'11". Starting to warm up perhaps, as again he reached base 3 times against Huntington Beach on a base hit and 2 walks. On deck is Chase Cummings. We're in the bottom of the order here for the Lancers. Here comes the 1-2. This one poked into right field, and that has a chance to drop, and it will. Ryland will hold up at third. The throw goes to second as Vortman is there, and that one just out of the reach of Wes Hickey, the sophomore. And that'll load up the bases with 1 out here for Chase Cummings. All the momentum in Orange Lutheran's favor at this point in time, and Cummings, who already has an RBI and a ground out, has a chance for another one here. 1-2, perhaps maybe defensive swing there by Bowen, but it works out. Short right field down the line, and he's on base once again. Here comes the pitch to Cummings, and this one down the right field line, but it's tailing foul and will get out of play, 0-1. Cummings through 2 games played this season, 1 for 4 with an RBI and a walk. He struck out 3 times. Tonight, he's 0 for 1. But again, has driven in his 2nd run of the year. Yucaipa hoping for a ground ball to try to get out of this with a double play. This fastball's a bit up and out, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Starting to see hitting contagious here for Orange Lutheran tonight, already with 9 base hits in the ball game. One ball, one strike. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball. Popped up foul and out of play, and the count is 1-2. That was one of the keys for Eric Borba offensively here for the Lancers. He said they're going to have to find a way to hit the breaking ball, and so far they've done a pretty good job of that tonight. On the other side, he said, on the other side, the pitching side, as this one is swung on and missed, Cummings goes down on strikes for out number 2. He said Brady Strom was going to need to spin it because Yucaipa likes to swing at the fastball and will take the breaking ball. Strom has done a pretty good job of that so far tonight as well. 2 outs, bases loaded. Derek Curiel at the plate. 8th man to bat here in the inning for the Lancers. And Herrera not out of trouble by any stretch, as a left-hander still warming up in the bullpen here for Yucaipa. First pitch here from the right-hander, and that one misses low to Curiel. The count is 1-0. Curiel 1 for 2, RBI base hit his last time up in the second. Already starting the 3rd time around the order here for the Lancers, and again, we're just in the 3rd. Lancers looking to do more damage here, as we mentioned. Bases loaded. Ryland at 3rd, Vortman at 2nd, Bowen over at 1st. All 3 in the bottom part of the order here for Orange Lutheran. They have set it up well here for the top half. Here comes the pitch, and that one's in there. Inside. Ball 2, 2-0. As we mentioned, the Prep Baseball Report rankings by year for the 2024 class here in California. Curiel is number 2, only behind Bryce Rayner of Harvard Westlake. Here comes the pitch, and that fastball is in there for a called strike at the knees. It's 2-1. Rayner was the starting pitcher who knocked Orange Lutheran out of the playoffs last year. We've heard that he's not going to be pitching this year, but he's playing outfield only. And he's off to a 6-for-11 start through 3 games. 2 balls, 1 strike here. This one popped up, shallow right center field. This will be the center fielder. I'm not sure if anybody knows where it's at. Oh, he makes the catch at the last second there. He found it and came in, reached out for it. It fell into the mitt. That'll keep the damage to just 2 runs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 2 runs on 4 hits for the Lancers here in this frame. No errors and 3 left on base. We are through 3 here at Hart Park. Orange Lutheran leads Yucaipa 4-1. This is Lancers Baseball on CA Sports Zone and the Coach's Radar.
Trinity League play as they travel to J. Sarah in a 6 p.m. game. Your Lancers then return.
Four to one Lancers as we head to the top of the 4th inning here at Hart Park. It's the championship game of the inaugural PBR Invitational. Orange Lutheran looking to take the title here tonight. Yucaipa still with plenty of time to work as they trail by 3. Brady Strome back on the mound here for the Lancers as he will face off against the heart of the order for the Thunderbirds. Wes Hickey, Luke Schur, and Daniel Arambula due up in this inning. As this part of the order is 1 for 2 with a double and a run score. That was Schur, who will be due up second.
Right fielder, number 4.
Wes Hickey, a strikeout victim back in the first inning. And the sophomore has had a tough go of things in right field so far tonight as the Lancers have deposited a few base hits in his direction. Trying to make up for it here at the plate as the sophomore steps in. Strome ready to go, works out of the windup. Here comes the pitch. It's upstairs, a breaking ball, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. This Yucaipa team, as we mentioned, 5th year Ralph Grajeda has been at the helm. He said the goal was not to take over the program at Yucaipa. It just kind of happened that way. Here comes the pitch, and that one misses low, and the count goes to 2-0. Grajeda was actually looking for another collegiate coaching position when the call came in for him to see if he wanted to take over at Yucaipa. Here comes the 2-0, and this one's inside. Showing bunt there was Hickey, and pulling it back, it's 3 balls and no strikes. He took over for Jeff Stout, who worked as the head coach at Yucaipa for 41 seasons. Here comes the 3-0. Another bunt shown, but pulled back, and Hickey will work a leadoff walk. 4 pitches there from Brady Strome, and he heads down to first. So a leadoff man aboard here for Yucaipa, and with nobody out, it'll bring up Luke Schur, who doubled down the line in left field against Strome back in the second inning. Back to Grajeda again. His only connection to Yucaipa was that he had recruited Yucaipa players and knew that they had a good program. During his time as a collegiate head coach, he said, you know what, we'll take a chance. We'll take over for Stout at Yucaipa. And in his first season in 2018, the Thunderbirds won the Division II championship, their 4th in school history and 1st in Division II, by beating the same Beckman team that knocked out Jeff Stout in his final season in the first round of the playoffs the year prior in 2017. 8-1 was the final in that one, and since then, Yucaipa has been in Division I in 3 of the past 4 years. Grajeda's teams have won at least 21 games or more in each of the 3 full seasons he's been working as head coach. In the shortened 2020 campaign, his team went 6-5 to open things up. They were in Division II that year. Following year, 2020, they were right back in Division I. Or pardon me, 2021, I should say, right back in Division I. They lost in the quarterfinals in the playoffs last year at J. Sarah by a final of 7-1. Here comes the pitch on Schur, slips out of the hand of Strome there and goes over the head of the right-hander, and the count goes to 1 ball and no strikes. Again, Schur 1 for 1. Picked up his 5th base hit of the year, which is a team high. He's 5 for 11. Starting to get a sprinkle once again behind the backstop here in orange as that curveball is in there for a strike. It's 1-1. Already had 1 game rained out this season. That was last week on Tuesday. The great hail out. So we were down in Irvine getting ready to play Ayala at the Great Park. That game was rescheduled for the following night here at Hart Park. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes the pitch on Schur. This one's popped up, fouling out of play. It's 1-2. Through 3 complete innings tonight, Orange Lutheran 4 runs on 9 hits, no errors. The Thunderbirds 1 run on 2 hits and 1 error. Leadoff walk to Wes Hickey. He's over at first base. Luke Schur in the hole, 1 ball and 2 strikes. On deck is Daniel Arambula. Chase Antion would be due up. 4th in this inning if the base runner stays on. Time called and granted by the home plate umpire. Again, a light drizzle here And the temperature at 55 degrees, although it feels a little bit colder than that. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. And this one popped up fouling out of play. Challenged him with the fastball there, and the count remains 1-2. Strome's gone 3 innings of work so far tonight, looking to get 1 more under his belt before he makes way for the bullpen. There's a right-hander warming up for Orange Lutheran down there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hickey with a short lead over at first. Here's the pitch. Challenged him with a fastball. Foul tipped into the mid of Carson Bowen, and there's the first out here in the top of the 4th inning. 5 strikeouts for Strome so far, and with 1 out and 1 on, it'll be Arambula due up next. No official at bat for him tonight. He's sacrificed back in the 2nd inning to get Scherr over to 3rd base. See if he does the same here to get Hickey over at 2nd, though I think he'll probably be swinging the bat. There goes the runner. Throw down to 2nd by Bowen, and that one looks like it was in time. And it was. Carson Bowen guns out Wes Hickey trying to get to 2nd base. And that's the 2nd out of the inning. That curveball missed outside. The count's 1 ball and no strikes here on Daniel Arambula. Big throw there from Carson Bowen. So he guns out another here tonight. 1-0 pitch as Strome now works out of the windup. Swung on and missed by Arambula. Foul tipped, into the mid of Bowen. The count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Another big out there as Carson Bowen catches another trying to steal 2nd base. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch, and that one misses low, bounces in. Nice glove work there by the catcher. 2 balls and 1 strike. Orange Lutheran in the bottom half of this inning will have Mikey Romero leading things off. 2, 3, and 4 due up in the frame for the Lancers. Here comes the 2-1 on the sophomore right-hander. Chopper foul down the 3rd base line. 2 balls and 2 strikes as he gets on top of one a bit upstairs. Again, Chase Antillon, the guy with the RBI base hit for Yucaipa back in the 2nd, is on deck. Should Arambula keep the inning alive and get on base. Again, here in this frame, Wes Hickey led off with a walk. Luke Scherr struck out. Hickey was thrown out trying to get to 2nd by Carson Bowen. And now it's 2-2 here on Arambula. This one lined foul down the 3rd base line. And the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Turned on a pitch a bit inside. Grajeda did not even move over there. And he will see another one. Should Strome get through this inning, he'd put himself in line to be the first Lancer starter to get a victory here in 2022. So far, all 3 have come out of the bullpen. 2 from Evan Miranda and 1 for Luis Rodriguez. 2-2, here comes the pitch. This one lined into right center. That's going to find some space as it's tracked down by Martinez. He cuts it off and gets it back in to hold Arambula to a single. And that'll keep the inning alive here for Chase Antillon. 3rd hit of the ball game for the Thunderbirds. And Antillon, who's got an RBI base hit back in the 2nd, will be up next. Again, all right-handers in the lineup here for the Thunderbirds tonight, so Orange Lutheran likely will just allow right-handers on the mound here tonight as a baseball comes in from the Yucaipa bullpen. And that stops play for a moment. For Antillon, his 2nd base hit of the year. 4th run batted in. Came in 1 for 10 on the year, looking to turn that around. So right-hander crowds the plate a bit with the back foot. Strome out of the stretch once again. Checks the runner at first and fires to the plate. Inside corner for a strike, and it's 0-1. Antillon lifted his arms as if it was too far inside. But home plate umpire says it catches some of the black there, 0-1. Decent lead over at first for Arambula. 0-1 offering. Breaking ball, nice slide and stop there by Bowen. And check down to first, but they say that Antillon did not swing at it. 1 ball and 1 strike. For Arambula, second base hit of the year for him as well, as he stands over at first. 2 outs, top of the 4th, a 4-1 Orange Lutheran lead here in the championship game of the PBR Invitational. It's being played at Hart Park. Orange Lutheran has been the home team in all 4 games so far this year. Here's one off the end of the bat towards first. A sliding stop, but Miranda can't keep it in the glove, and that will allow Antillon to get to first base, and that'll put runners at first and second with 2 outs. See what they call that. They're going to say it's an error on Miranda. Tough one at that, as he had to range quite a bit to his right in between first and second to get to that baseball, and did well just to keep it in the infield there, but that keeps the inning alive here for Yucaipa, and now it'll be Wyatt Doty due up. Crowding the plate again here on the right side is Doty. Struck out his first time up. Here's the pitch, and that one misses a bit inside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. On at second base is Arambula. On at first is Antillon, a 2-out rally. Being started here by Yucaipa as they trail by 3. On deck now is Isaiah Walls. One ball, no strikes. Strom checks second. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Count goes to 1-1. Looked like off speed there. Strom just trying to get through this 4th inning. He's had to face a couple of guys here he's had to endure a base hit and an error. Now he deals with Wyatt Doty. He looks back at second, fires to the plate. 1-1, check swing, it bounces. Bowen picks it up, did not notice the runner going to third immediately. And that will allow Arambula to get into third base. Now runners on the corners with 2 outs and a 2-1 count here on Doty. Both teams with pitchers warming up in the bullpen. A left-hander for Yucaipa, a right-hander for Orange Lutheran. Yucaipa now threatening to cut into this lead. 2 balls, 1 strike. Strom out of the stretch. Here comes the pitch, and this one popped up to the right side. Martinez coming in for it and loses the hat but makes the catch, and that's the more important thing there, as that retires the side for Yucaipa. They leave 2 runners on base, 1 in scoring position, but they go down no runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 left on base. We are through 3.5 here in this one. And Orange Lutheran leads Yucaipa 4-1 in the inaugural PBR Invitational Championship game here on CA Sports Zone and the Coach's Radar. Well, folks, established in 2002, veteran-owned and operated Innovative Career Resources and Staffing is one of Orange County's premier recruiting and staffing firms and a sponsor of Orange Lutheran Baseball. If you're looking for great people for your company or looking to make a career move, contact Innovative Career Resources and Staffing at 714-508-8620. And friends, the sponsor of Orange Lutheran Baseball, Superior Truck Supply, is the leading provider of family-owned heavy-duty truck parts in the Los Angeles and Orange County areas. Once again, that's Superior Truck Supply. Bottom 4 here at Hart Park, as Carter Herrera back out on the mound here for Yucaipa. He'll face off against the 2, 3, and 4 batters in the Lancer order. Mikey Romero to lead things off. Casey Borba and Gabe Miranda due up in this inning as well. This part of the order for the Lancers is 3 for 5. Gabe Miranda 2 for 2 tonight. Mikey Romero with a single back in the first inning. He is 1 for 2 so far.
Leading off for your Lancers, shortstop number
Single in the first, ground out to third. His second time up in the second inning. Mikey Romero, 4 hits on the year. As the left-hander gets set to get back to work here against Herrera, takes a first pitch at the letters for a strike. It's 0-1. And for Romero, that bases clearing triple against Huntington Beach, his first runs batted in of the year. Here comes the 0-1, and that pitch misses a bit low and outside. The count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Signed to play baseball at LSU, but just like his counterpart, Jacob Reimer at the shortstop position, he is a high-round draft prospect as he takes a healthy hack at that one upstairs and comes up empty, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Left-handed bat, good line drive hitter is Romero, and this one poked down the third base line, but foul, and the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Came into the game tonight batting .300, 1 extra base hit with that triple, couple of singles to his credit as well. Last year in 20 games, a .362 batting average, 25 base hits, 16 runs scored, and 15 runs batted in. This one, a line drive down the right field line. That's fair. Curveball, he took advantage there as it was up in the zone. It goes all the way to the corner. Getting to it now is Hickey, but it's going to be too late as Romero gets into third base. Second triple of the ballgame for the Lancers. And they've got a runner in scoring position with nobody out, and the heart of the order coming up. Perhaps a mistaken location there by Herrera. He went with the breaking ball on a 2-strike pitch and left it up, and Romero took advantage and lined it down the right field line. Orange Lutheran has been taking advantage of that side for most of the evening, and Romero does so again. Lancers looking to build on the lead as Casey Borba steps in. Here comes the first pitch, and that one's a bit outside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Borba tonight 0 for 1. A fly ball out to center. He walked and scored his second time up in the third inning. 4-1 Orange Lutheran with a runner at third. The infield will be brought in here for Yucaipa, looking to cut off a ground ball. 1-0. Checked his swing as that one dipped below the zone. The count goes to 2-0. Orange Lutheran this year has not scored any runs in the first inning like they were so good with last year. But they are starting to put things together here in the final game of this PBR Classic, as this one is in there for a called strike at the knees. It's 2-1. First couple of games, Orange Lutheran had to battle back against Gar. Got past a couple of miscues late in the game against Ayala and walked off against the Bulldogs. As this one a ground ball to third, picked up by Arambula. Throw over to first is in time. Romero stays there, and Borba unable to bring home the runner. That's the first out. Then with their 2 marquee pitchers on the mound in the third game of the tournament against Huntington Beach, Oliver Santos and Luis Rodriguez really showed what they were capable of in that game. 8 strikeouts apiece, 16 total of the 21 outs in that ball game. Orange Lutheran got a couple of runs early, and then Mikey Romero made it 5-0 in the bottom of the 6th as the Lancers moved on to this championship here. This one by Gabe Miranda deep out to right field. Going back, it one hops the wall as it gets past Hickey. Coming around to score is Mikey Romero, and Gabe Miranda is 3 for 3 tonight, and he's a home run away from the cycle. 2 runs batted in for him tonight as well. It's a 5-1 Lancer lead.
Stepping to the plate for your Lancers, right fielder.
And all 3 of those hits have gone to right field tonight.
Martinez.
He stands at second as Brian Martinez now steps in. And keep in mind, a home run is not out of the question for Gabe Miranda. As long as the wind continues to push things right. He's already got one this year here at Hart Park as that pitch misses outside. It's 1-0 here on Brian Martinez. 0 for 1 tonight is Martinez with an RBI. It was a sacrifice fly his last time up back in the third. Still 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball upstairs, and the count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. Herrera starting to fall behind here. See if Martinez tries to go the opposite way. Now they've got Wes Hickey a little bit closer to the line here, opening up a gap in right center. Here comes the pitch, and that one hits the outside edge for a strike. It's 2-1. 11 hits in the ball game here for Orange Lutheran. Ben Ryland is on deck. Martinez can pull one. There's an even bigger gap in left center field. Here comes the pitch, and this one is to third. Hot shot to Arambula, picks it up, throws over to first after checking the runner at second, and Martinez is retired for out number 2. That is Arambula's 4th putout at third base tonight. He's been busy, and with 2 outs and a runner at second base, head coach Ralph Grajeda is going to head out and have a chat here with his pitcher in the infield. We'll see if he takes the ball from his starting pitcher, or if he allows Carter Herrera the chance to get out of it. He will allow him to try and get out of this 4th inning. As the meeting is quick, and he'll face off against the 4th left-hander in the lineup here in Ben Ryland. 1 for 2. He singled back in the 3rd, but was stranded at third base as the Lancers left the bases loaded. But the bigger thing for Ryland tonight was that spectacular diving catch he made in left field to end the top of the 3rd inning and make it a 1-2-3 inning for Brady Strom. Here's the pitch, and this first one is at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. Full extension in the air. Took the right angle to the ball and was able to hang on to it for a spectacular diving catch. Now with an RBI opportunity as Miranda stands over at second. No balls, 1 strike. Herrera looks back at second base. Here comes the pitch, and this one a check swing. Did he go around? They'll check the second base umpire. He says no, and the count goes to 1-1. Miranda with a slightly larger lead over at second base. 2 outs here, bottom of the 4th. 5-1 Orange Lutheran. Here's the pitch, and this one is a bit upstairs, and the count goes to 2-1. Sawyer Vortman on deck. Orange Lutheran has strung together the hits tonight in a way they haven't done here at home in a while. Certainly not this season. Herrera looks back at second base, and Reimer will head towards the bag to get Miranda to head back as Herrera steps off. Second baseman Isaiah Walls a little towards the first base bag as that pitch misses a bit inside. Good hitters count here for Ryland. It's 3-1. That single back in the second inning, or pardon me, the 3rd inning, for Ryland was his 2nd hit of the year. He and Sawyer Vortman look to be platooning left field this year. Vortman, the designated hitter tonight, he's on deck. He's 2 for 2. Here comes the 3-1, and this one blooped over towards the left side. Out of the reach of Reimer at short, rounding third and coming home is Miranda. It is 6-1 Orange Lutheran, an RBI base hit for Ben Ryland. And again on a 3-1 pitch, the Lancers have put themselves in pretty good counts tonight. Ryland takes advantage knowing that Herrera had to put one in the strike zone, and he bloops one into left center for his 2nd RBI of the year. Now it's Vortman, who has already collected 2 singles tonight, and he scored a run out of the 7th spot here in the lineup. 6-1, 6 runs on 12 hits for Orange Lutheran here against the Thunderbirds. And again, trying to have Herrera close out the inning. This one upstairs on Vortman. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Vortman was showing bunt, pulled it back. Ryland a short lead over at first. He does have decent speed over there. Here comes the pitch, and this one fouled off straight back, and the count goes to 1-1. Vortman already this season with 4 hits. Above 500 batting average. Of course, we're still in the early goings here in the 2022 season. How about Gabe Miranda is 3 for 3 night tonight, has him with 5 hits this year. Here comes the pitch, and that one misses low. The count goes to 2-1. Cold tonight, but the Lancer bats are heating up, if not already hot here this evening. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here comes the pitch, and that one skips away from the catcher. Sure behind the plate, heading to second base is Ryland. It's a 3-1 count here on Sawyer Vortman. Pitch was inside, and Sure couldn't quite get the glove to it. It was a fastball, and another favorable count here for Orange Lutheran. Earlier this afternoon, I should say, Corona walked off on Alemany by a final of 2-1. As Corona went 3-1 in the tournament, this fastball misses outside. Vortman will head down to first, and that will bring up Carson Bowen. So Vortman now on for all 3 of his plate appearances, and Grajeda, I think, has seen enough here. He's making a quick walk out to the mound. He's going to take the ball from Herrera. So Carter Herrera, 3 2/3 innings of work, gives up 6 runs on 12 hits. And he will head back to the dugout as the Thunderbirds, I believe, will bring on a left-hander to try to get them out of this 4th inning. As he warms up, we'll step aside for a moment. It's 6-1 with 2 outs and 2 on for the Lancers here in the bottom of the 4th. This is the championship game of the PBR Invitational, and this is Lancers Baseball on CA Sports Zone and the Coach's Radar. Ethan Osborne on the mound here for Yucaipa. The left-handed senior takes over for Carter Herrera, who ends up giving up 6 runs on 12 hits in 3 2/3 innings of work. Herrera on the night struck out 1. He walked a couple in the ball game. Carson Bowen will head up to the plate here for the Lancers with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Runners at first and second. First pitch from Osborne is in there for a strike, and the count goes to 0-1. Ben Ryland at second. Over at first after a walk is Sawyer Vortman for the Thunderbirds this season. Osborne is the 6th pitcher to come into a ball game for him this year. They've used 5 through the first 3 games of the year. Big looping curveball that hits the letter, and that one is in there for a strike. 0-2. One strikeout, 2 walks for Herrera here tonight. The Lancers pounced all over him in the early goings here. He gave up 2 runs in the second, 2 in the third, and 2 here in the 4th. There go both runners. This throw goes down to third. Nice one there by Sure. And Arambula collects it off one hop and applies the tag on Ryland, and that gets the Thunderbirds out of the inning. But the Lancers put up 2 more runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Carson Bowen will lead things off in the bottom of the 5th. We head to the top of the 5th, however. It's 6-1 Orange Lutheran in the championship game of the PBR Invitational. This is Lancers Baseball on CA Sports Zone and the Coach's Radar.
Consultation is free and no obligation.
Jordan Cole takes to the hill here for Orange Lutheran as we head to the top of the 5th here at Hart Park. A 6-1 Orange Lutheran lead over Yucaipa. As Brady Strome's night is done, he goes 4 innings of work, allows 1 run on 3 hits. And Strome tonight, again, remember, he's a sophomore. He struck out 5, and he walked 1 this evening. So a good start there for Brady Strome, a good bounce back after he went 2/3 of an inning and gave up 3 hits against Gar a little over a week ago. Strome comes back tonight and keeps the Thunderbirds in check, and he's in line for the win if the score holds up here. But Yucaipa with 9 outs to play with here. Jordan Cole making his 2nd appearance for Orange Lutheran on the mound this season, and he starts off with a strike here against Isaiah Walls. It'll be 8-9-1 in the Yucaipa order due up in this inning. Isaiah Walls to lead it off. Gavin and Owen Egan to follow. Here comes the 0-1. That pitch misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. In that previous appearance for Jordan Cole, he went 2 innings of work against Ayala. In 34 pitches, he gave up 1 hit, no runs, 3 strikeouts, and 1 walk. So a good debut there for the junior right-hander. Here comes the 1-1. That one's outside. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. He came on with 2 outs in the 4th inning, I believe, in that ball game. And he exited with 2 outs in the 6th. Here comes the 2-1. That one's in there for a strike, 2-2. As Isaiah Walls is 0 for 1, grounded into a fielder's choice to end the top of the 2nd inning. 6 runs on 12 hits, 1 error for the Lancers, 1 run on 3 hits, 1 error for Yucaipa. Here comes the pitch. This one a ground ball right back up the middle. Cummings will get to it, throws on the run, and it's in time and on target. Good play there for the senior as Walls is retired for out number 1. Chase Cummings at second base, making the tough throw as his body was going away from the first base bag, and Miranda's able to snag it for out number 1. That'll bring up Gavin Egan, the left fielder. Flew out to his counterpart, Ben Ryland, back in the 3rd inning. As the first pitch comes in from Cole. Fastball inside corner for a strike, and the count is 0-1. Have heard from Les Lukács at PBR that, Harvard Westlake is up on Jay Serra 2-0. Curveballs upstairs here from Jordan Cole, and the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Jay Serra was the 3rd 3-0 team coming into action here tonight. They hosted Harvard Westlake, who is 2-1. As the 1-1 pitch comes in, that one misses low and outside. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, that game is a rematch of last year's Division I championship game. Harvard Westlake won that one at Cal State Fullerton. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch, and this one blooped out towards right. Coming in is Martinez, and he will make the running catch for out number 2. Back to the top of the order we go. So 2-0 Harvard Westlake down in San Juan Capistrano. And that will bring up Owen Egan, 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts here tonight as we head back to the top of the order. Another game, final game of the tournament. Huntington Beach and Gar did battle on Saturday, actually, and it was Huntington Beach coming away with a 5-4 victory. So the Oilers finished up the tournament 2-2. Gar was 1-3. As we mentioned earlier, Corona over Alemany 2-1 here at Hart Park as this curveball misses upstairs. 1-1 the count here on Owen Egan. So Corona finishes 3-1. Alemany, after starting 2-0, falls to 2-2. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. This one fouled straight back. A fastball there from Cole, and the count goes to 1-2. Boy, how about Corona? They led this tournament in terms of runs scored by a wide margin thanks to a 21-run outburst against Miracosta on Thursday last week. Here's the 1-2 line drive, base hit down the left field line. Ryland will get to it before it gets to the corner, and will throw it back in to hold Egan to a single. 4th hit of the ball game for Yucaipa, and with 2 outs and a runner at first, Jacob Reimer will be due up next.
Shortstop.
Corona's lone loss was to Jay Serra on Tuesday last week by a final of 10-3, and Corona actually scored the first 3 runs of that ball game. Again, some very good teams here in this tournament. Yucaipa, another one of those fantastic public school programs, as this curveball hits at the letters for a strike. It's 0-1. Grajeda commented before the game that this group is dialed in. They're playing good baseball. They grew up as a tight-knit unit. Of course, out in Yucaipa, a one high school city. Couple of big little leagues out there as this fastball gets past Bowen into the backstop. Going to second base is Egan, and a runner in scoring position here for the Thunderbirds. Wild pitch there from Cole puts a runner in scoring position, and Reimer's even in the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. And again, the future bright for Yucaipa as well, as we've seen a couple of sophomores in the lineup so far. Daniel Arambula at third base and Wes Hickey in right field. 1-1, here's the pitch. In there for a strike, and just Reimer thought about it but kept the bat on the shoulder. It's 1-2. Couple of fly ball outs for Reimer. He was robbed of a base hit by Ryland his last time up in the third inning. And in the first, hit a high fly ball drifting out to right center. Here comes the pitch, curveball, called strike 3 at the letters, and Cole is out of the inning.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yucaipa gets a base hit, gets a runner into scoring position, but comes up empty-handed. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We are through 4.5 here at Hart Park. Orange Lutheran with a 6-1 edge over Yucaipa in the championship game of the PBR Invitational. And you're listening to it live here on CA Sports Zone and watching it on the Coach's Radar. Friends Brake and Tire Depot is a Lancer family-owned small business serving Orange County for 31 years and proud sponsors of Orange Lutheran Baseball. Visit them at 1205 East 1st Street in Santa Ana for a special Lancer discount. Once again, Brake and Tire Depot. Visit them at 1205 East 1st Street in Santa Ana for a special Lancer discount. And baseball fans, are you ready for a front or backyard makeover? Premier Outdoor Builders can help you design and build a stunning front yard or backyard of your dreams. Trusted by Lancer families to handle their outdoor living needs, Premier Outdoor Builders can handle your next outdoor living project. From custom pools, patio covers, barbecues, fire features, hardscapes, and driveways, they will handle all your design and build needs. Find them on Instagram at Premier Outdoor Builders and mention this ad when you call to get a free 3D rendering of your next project and have your deposit waived. Once again, find them on Instagram at Premier Outdoor Builders and mention this ad when you call to get a free 3D rendering of your next project and have your deposit waived. 6-1 as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning for Orange Lutheran. It will be 8-9-1 due up. Carson Bowen was at the plate when Ben Ryland was caught stealing third by Luke Schur behind the plate for the third out of the inning. It'll be Bowen, Chase Cummings, and Derek Curiel due up in this inning. And these three combined have 3 hits tonight. They are 3 for 7. Chase Cummings with an RBI and Cummings and Curiel each with an RBI. And Bowen with a run scored. This first pitch, a curveball from the left-hander Osborne. That one misses inside, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. This pitch lifted into shallow right center. And it looks like it'll be the right fielder making the catch. Wes Hickey out there, although a little shaky. Had to reach back for it a bit. And that'll be the first out here in the bottom of the 5th. Chase Cummings, the man due up next. And again, if anybody gets on base, Mikey Romero would be due up 4th. Ethan Osborne, taking over with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th for Carter Herrera. Osborne trying to get through at least this 5th inning here as the pitch comes in. That one misses low. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. Has a lot of break on the curveball and has a fastball as well. Coach Grajeda has a right-hander warming up in the bullpen here for Yucaipa as the count goes to 2-0 here on Chase Cummings. Left-hander in the bullpen for Orange Lutheran. We'll see how long Jordan Cole goes. Again, he gave up a 2-out base hit, but otherwise had a clean 5th inning for the Lancers. Here's a line drive out to right field. That'll fall for a base hit, and Cummings is on board. As again, it's bobbled by Hickey. That allows Cummings to slide into second base safely. And the Lancers once again have a runner in scoring position with one out here in the bottom of the fifth. I believe that's going to go as a base hit and then an error on Hickey out and right, his second of the ball game.
Stepping to the plate for your Lancers, center fielder, number 4.
And that brings us back to the top of the order here with Derek Curiel. So everybody in the lineup has had a base hit except for Brian Martinez, but again, he's got a sacrifice fly and an RBI. He's grounded out twice in his other two at-bats so far tonight. Here's the first pitch on Curiel. He bunts it, picked up by Osborne. The throw to first pulls the first baseman off the bag, and Curiel will be safe. Moving up to third is Chase Cummings, and the Lancers will have runners on the corners now with one out for Mikey Romero. Throw looked a bit high there, and Doty hopped off the bag to make the catch.
Batting for your Lancers, shortstop, number
So
35.
Curiel gets over at first, and we'll see if that leads to any breaks for second base here. There he goes, and sure, we'll just hang on to this one as Curiel gets into second. So now two in scoring position for the Lancers as the count goes to 1 ball and no strikes. Curiel reaches on the throwing error there by Osborne. And he's now in second base as the Thunderbirds bring the infield in. This pitch misses low, and the count goes to 2-0 here on Mikey Romero. 2 for 3 tonight, a single and a triple tonight, and a run scored back in the fourth inning. He also grounded out to third in between those two base hits. Casey Borba on deck. So the Lancers looking to add here. 6-1 the score. Here's the pitch upstairs. 3-0 now here on Mikey Romero. And now they'll just intentionally walk him down to first to load the bases here for Casey Borba. Opens up the possibility for a double play. But now gives Borba an opportunity to drive home multiple runs with a base hit. They'll take one if he can get one deep enough into the outfield. Borba tonight is 0 for 2. Walk and a run scored in the third inning. Pardon me, he and Martinez are looking for their first base hits of the contest, but Borba has reached base once tonight. Here comes the first pitch inside, and they call that one a strike. It's 0-1. Fly ball out in the first. Walk and a run scored in the third. He also grounded out to third his third time up. Again, a young man who verbally committed to the University of Texas in the offseason. Here comes the 0-1. Curveball. This one slapped into left field. That's going to fall for a base hit. One run will score. They will hold the runner at third base as they all go around the merry-go-round here. Cummings will score the 7th run of the ball game. Curiel held up at third. It's 7-1 now, Orange Lutheran. RBI base hit for Casey Borba, and that's the 14th hit of the ball game tonight here for the Lancers.
First baseman, number 26.
And now it's Gabe Miranda. Boy, what a sight this would be with the bases loaded, needing a home run to complete the cycle here tonight. First pitch from Osborne is swung on and missed. A curveball that briefly gets away from Schur, but it was under his legs the whole time. 0-1 the count. A single in the first, an RBI triple in the third, and an RBI double in the fourth for Gabe Miranda so far tonight. Guessing we're going to have a conversation with him for the pregame on Friday before Carroll. 0-1. Ooh, curveball left up, and this one just tipped foul by Miranda as he got underneath of it. And the count goes to 0-2. Again, Yucaipa looking for a double play ball here. Bases loaded. Curiel at third. At second is Romero. At first is Casey Borba. Here comes the 0-2. Curveball, and that one misses inside. Boy, Osborne really thought that one was in there. He's barking on the mound, shaking his head as he gets the ball back from his catcher. 1-2. All curveballs so far. Here's another one. That one's outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander in the bullpen for Yucaipa. And again, Orange Lutheran's got a left-hander warming up So we've got one out here in the bottom of the fifth. Bases loaded, 7-1. Orange Lutheran looking to add on here with Gabe Miranda at the plate. 2-2. Curveball. This one slapped foul down the first base line, and the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Miranda takes a breath, steps back in. Curiel waiting at third. At second base, as we mentioned, Romero, Borba at first. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Fastball low, full count, 3-2. Nowhere to put him here. A walk would score another run. For Miranda, his first time in the cleanup role, and he's relished it to this point. Brian Martinez on deck as the payoff pitch comes in from Osborne. Here's a ground ball that's through the hole. 1 run will score. They're going to round Romero as well. It's a 2 RBI base hit as Borba heads to third. And it's now a 9-1 Lancer lead. 4 for 4 is Miranda tonight with 4 runs batted in. Boy, what a night there for the senior. As that puts runners on the corners now for Brian Martinez. Still 1 out here in the bottom of the fifth.
Number 23, Brian Martinez.
Perhaps now is not a good time to mention that this is the first meeting between these two teams since 2008. The last time Orange Lutheran handled it as well. First pitch to Martinez is low, and the count is 1-0. 16-0 was the final in that one. In the National Classic, and a guy you may or may not have heard of was the starter in that game for Orange Lutheran, Garrett Cole. Started for Orange Lutheran in that victory. Punched out 13 in 6 innings of work, and he also hit a home run. So in case you were wondering if he was a two-way player in high school, I think you can make the assumption that he definitely was. That was his senior season, right before he went to UCLA. 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch, a ground ball. That's going to get through as well. Borba will score to make it a 10-1 ball game as Miranda stops at second base. And still with 1 out, it'll be Noah Rodriguez pinch hitting here for Ben Ryland. So now we can say every Lancer in the starting lineup has gotten a base hit here tonight as Martinez finishes it off. And it looks like Grajeda may take the ball away here from the left-hander. He will make a call to the bullpen here, and that will do it for Ethan Osborne. A tough appearance here for the left-handed senior. He goes 2/3 of an inning, and the Lancers have put up 4 runs on him here in this frame and still have 2 on base. As a reliever will head in, we'll step aside as the reliever warms up. We'll tell you a little bit about him when we come back. This is Lancers Baseball on CA Sports Zone and the Coach's Radar. Welcome back to Hart Park. 10-1 the score. Orange Lutheran has broken this thing wide open against Yucaipa as the Thunderbirds will go to the bullpen for the second time tonight and bring on Peyton Von Kanel, a senior committed to Concordia down in Irvine. And a guy coming off a great relief outing against Chaminade last week on Thursday. 6 innings of work, 3 hits, no runs allowed. He struck out 7 and walked 2, and he picked up the victory in that extra inning affair against Chaminade. And he will be called on again 4 days later to try to slow down this Lancer offense. So Peyton Von Kanel will Start things off against Noah Rodriguez, who is pinch hitting here for Ben Ryland. Rodriguez was the one who scored the game-winning run against Ayala last week on Tuesday, and this will be his first plate appearance here in 2022. Moncano looks back at second base. Gabe Miranda is there. Over at first is Brian Martinez. Here comes the pitch, and that fastball's in there for a strike. It's 0-1. 10 runs on 16 hits tonight for Orange Lutheran. Lancers started early and have not slowed down here tonight. One out here in the frame. Here's the pitch, and that one misses a bit low and inside. It's 1-1. Noah Rodriguez is in his junior season. Listed as an outfielder and a second baseman. 1 ball, 1 strike. He stands straight up in the batter's box. A right-hander with a slightly open stance. Watches a fastball upstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, he pinch ran for Brian Martinez against Ayala after Martinez got to second base on a throwing error by the Ayala shortstop Ty Borgonio. Eventually got to third and came around to score. This throw goes into center field as Von Canel tries to pick off Miranda at second base, but backing up the second baseman is Egan. Miranda stays at second base, not wanting to test that arm. Count remains 2 balls and 1 strike here on Rodriguez. On deck is Ryan Irwin. He would hit in place of Sawyer Vortman. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here comes the pitch from Von Canel. This one a check swing and out of the reach there, the first baseman foul. Wyatt Doty looked like maybe he had a chance on it, but it bounces in front of his glove. The count goes to 2-2. Pitch was again up in the zone. Von Canel's got some good height on the mound here for Yucaipa. Threw 84 pitches in that relief effort against Chaminade. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Von Canel looks back at second base. Couple of times as Miranda moving around, throws the pitch. Looked like a slider there that Rodriguez swings through and comes up empty. It'll be a strikeout there, and the second out of the inning. As the runners stay at first and second, and Ryan Irwin will have a shot here. He'll be the 9th man to bat here in this frame for Orange Lutheran.
Your attention, please. This change for your Lancers. Now batting, number 18.
So Vortman ends his night at the plate 2 for 2 with a walk. He reached base all 3 times at the plate. Couple of singles and a run scored tonight. And now Ryan Irwin will get the opportunity. Another right-hander, even stance at the plate. He's got 2 runners aboard. As Von Canel out of the stretch looks back at second. Couple of times. Here comes the pitch, and this one a chopper, high chopper to the right-hand side. Getting to it is the second baseman, Walls. He throws to first in time for the final out. But the Lancers blow this thing wide open. They bring home 4 runs.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 6th inning marks the last inning of the Lancers.
4 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, and 2 left on base here in the frame. We are through 5 at Hart Park. Orange Lutheran now leads Yucaipa 10-1. Here in the championship game of the PBR Invitational. This is Lancers Baseball on CA Sports Zone and the Coach's Radar. Top of the 6th inning we go here at Hart Park. 10-1, Orange Lutheran with the lead over Yucaipa, and the Lancers will again go to the bullpen here and bring out left-hander Jackson Andeal in his senior season. He will make his first appearance here for Orange Lutheran, and he will face off against the heart of the order here for Yucaipa. It'll be Wes Hickey, Luke Schur, and Daniel Arambula due up, and it looks like we got some defensive changes for the Lancers as well. We'll keep an eye on those, and we'll get you those as quickly as we can. It looks like J.J. Robles is playing first base. I believe Cummings is still at second base, Romero still at short, and Borba still at third. Not sure who's in left. We'll try to figure that out. Curiel still in center. I believe we got a new right fielder as well. So a couple of changes here at first base, on the mound. Oh, and Richard Tejeda's behind the plate as well. We'll make sure we get that one too. It looks like we got changes at first, catcher, left field, and right field. And Jackson Andeal will make his first appearance out of the bullpen for the Lancers this season as he just finishes his warm-up tosses and will face off against the 3, 4, and 5 batters here in this Yucaipa order. It'll be Wes Hickey to lead things off. And so far tonight, he is 0 for 1. Struck out in the first inning and walked in the 4th. Special few days for Danny and Nancy Andeal, Jackson's parents. They were out in Arizona over the weekend watching his older brother Max collect his first collegiate base hit as a member of Grand Canyon University. Now they come back here to California, and they get a chance to see Jackson get his first appearance here in 2022 out of the bullpen. First pitch misses a bit outside. The left-hander is behind 1-0. Here comes the second offering. That one swung on and missed, and the count evens out 1-1. Really good story about persevering and coming back through a series of injuries. Andeal has not been able to, he was a member of the team last year but was not able to pitch due to lingering issues, but has continued to work and has made his comeback and gets the first opportunity here tonight in the championship game of the PBR Invitational. 2 balls and 1 strike the count. Here comes the pitch on Hickey. Fastball swung on and missed, and the count evens out 2-2. Jackson Andeal, I believe, about 6'3". He got the height over his older brother. Personally, my younger brother is also taller than me, so it's just something that happens. We deal with it. We accept it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch on Hickey. This one fouled off the catcher's mask, and the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. So far, some good velocity, good location with the fastball. Richard Tejeda will take an extra second here. Andeal gets ready to go once again. All fastballs in this at-bat here with Wes Hickey. On deck is Luke Schur. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed upstairs, but Hickey could not resist it, and he goes down on strikes for the first out here in the top of the 6th. So 1 out, nobody on. That'll bring up Luke Schur, who's 1 for 2, a double and a run scored in the second inning. He struck out his last time up in the 4th. Both of those at-bats were against Brady Strom. Now he deals with a left-hander. Here comes the first pitch. A fastball swung on and missed, and Andeal's got that thing working so far, 0-1. So there's a lineup that can put up runs here for the Thunderbirds, but the Lancers have kept them quiet so far tonight. Here comes the pitch, and this one fouled off the catcher's mask once again, and the count goes to 0-2. OLU does have a right-hander in the bullpen as well. Tejeda behind the plate working with Andeal here in this inning. No balls, 2 strikes. The left-hander kicks and deals, and a curveball stays a bit upstairs. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, coming into this inning, 10 runs on 16 hits, 1 error for the Lancers, 1 run on 4 hits, 3 errors for Yucaipa here tonight. Slightly open stance here for the senior catcher. Here comes the 1-2. Curveball fought off and fouled off to the left-hand side. It remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Junior catcher Luke Schur. Again, verbally committed to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. So many commits on this team. More than half the roster is committed. Here's a fastball swung on and missed. 2 up, 2 down for Andeal. And a couple of strikeouts to open up the top of the 6th. That'll bring up Daniel Arambula with nobody on. The third baseman will check in for the 3rd time tonight. He is 1 for 1, a sacrifice in the 2nd inning and a single in the 4th. He was stranded at 3rd in that frame. First pitch from Jackson Andeal, a fastball swung on and missed. And the count goes to 0-1. Foul tipped into the catcher's mitt of Richard Tejeda. But the count remains the same. No balls and 1 strike with 2 outs and nobody on. Here comes the pitch, another fastball. This one upstairs, 1-1. Again, Andeal spent all last season in the dugout cheering on the boys, especially his older brother Max, who had himself a great senior year. Nobody was happier for him than Andeal. And Jackson Andeal, actually the way I found out that Max had gotten his first hit was because Andeal had retweeted it. Jackson had found the video and posted it on Twitter for his older brother. Here comes the 1-2 on Arambula. Called strike 3, and how about that? 3 up, 3 down, 3 strikeouts for Jackson Andeal in his varsity debut here in 2022, and it's a quick 1-2-3 frame for the Lancers. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We head to the bottom of the 6th, 10-1 Orange Lutheran over Yucaipa. This is Lancers baseball here on CA Sports Zone and the Coach's Radar.
Once again, that's casportszone.com.
Baseball fans, have you imagined expanding your indoor-outdoor entertaining area to be that perfect place for pre- and post-game get-togethers? Then let B&W Windows and Doors assist you with all of your window and door replacement needs. They serve all of Orange County and surrounding areas while offering a premium custom product in a variety of colors and operations. Consultation is free and no obligation. Call them today at 714-941-9796 or visit their website, bwllco.com. That's B&W Windows and Doors. And friends, do you need parts for your car? Why pay more? Shop Clark's first. Since 1976, Clark stocks all the parts you need for your import, domestic, and European vehicles. Radiators, brake pads, starters, and alternators, oxygen sensors, shocks and struts, and all the fuel injection parts, plus a whole lot more. Name brand parts at discount prices. Come on in or shop online at clarksap.com. That's clarksap.com. And remember, at Clark's, we discount the discount. Bottom of the 6th inning we go. 10-1 Orange Lutheran. The Lancers will send up the 8-9-1 batters here against Von Kanel, who came on with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th and got a strikeout and a ground out to second. So Von Kanel looking to shut the door on the Lancers here in the bottom of the 6th. It'll be Richard Tejeda to lead things off in place of Carson Bowen. And Jacob Parita will bat second. He's in the on-deck circle. First pitch from Von Kanel. Oh, that one hits Tejeda in the back as he'll head down to first. That one looked like it slipped out of the hands there of the right-hander and came right and got him square in the back as Tejeda shied away from it. He'll head down to first, and the Lancers' leadoff man is aboard. On base the hard way there for Richard Tejeda, and now it'll be Jacob Parita stepping in, a left-handed bat. Tanner Wilcoxon will head to the on-deck circle to bat in place of Derek Curiel. So Jacob Parita pinch hitting here for Chase Cummings in the 9th spot in the order. Lancers have scored runs in all but 1 inning so far tonight. It was the first. They've scored 2 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, and 4 in the 5th. Tejeda gets his lead. Here comes the pitch, and that misses a bit inside on Parita. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. First plate appearance here for Jacob Parita, a senior, listed as a catcher on the roster. 1 ball, no strikes. Outside is the pitch, and the count goes to 2-0. Another right-hander in the bullpen for Yucaipa, just in case they need him. Again, Carter Herrera went 3 2/3 innings of work tonight. And since then, it's been Ethan Osborne who went 2/3 of an inning. And now Von Canel, who's gone 2/3 of an inning, looking to get through this 6th, but that misses up and away. It's 3-0. So first 4 pitches here in this inning have been off the plate. For the Thunderbirds, it'll be 6, 7, and 8 due up in the top of the 7th. As Von Canel, the 3-0, is outside, and it's a hit batter and a walk to the first 2 here in the frame. And with 2 on and nobody out, Tanner Wilcoxon will take his first plate appearance for the Lancers here in 2022. And it looks like that's going to do it for Von Canel as he sees 2 batters here in this inning and gives free passes to both. Wyatt Doty will be handed the baseball, and he will take over as Von Canel goes 2/3 of an inning, and now it'll be the right-hander Doty who will try to slow down this offense, which all of a sudden has 2 runners on once again and nobody out. A 10-1 lead for Orange Lutheran here in the championship game of the PBR Invitational. And the 4th pitcher of the ball game here for Yucaipa, warming up here to try to get him out of the 6th inning. Well, friends, if you're looking for a summer high school level baseball program, join the Tustin Scorpions, whose focus is to help you get ready for your next high school season with 3 practices per week and weekend games. Join the Scorpion family. And once again, Lancer Baseball sponsor K-Zone Training Center is an indoor baseball and softball training facility located in Yorba Linda. Open 7 days a week, it offers 5 lanes, including 2 with pitching mounds and hack attack machines, 3 tee hitting areas, and hit tracks. Appointments can be booked online at kzonebpcages.com. That's kzonebpcages.com. K-Zone Training Center. Book your appointment today. So Wyatt Doty on the mound. Looks like Danny Arambula will take over at first base, and we'll see a new third baseman here. Once we see what that number is, we'll relay it to you. Tanner Wilcoxon will step into the batter's box here with runners at first and second. Again, the score is 10-1. Orange Lutheran with a 4-run 5th inning blew it open. And they have an opportunity to pick up a couple more here with 2 on base. First pitch to Wilcoxon misses up and away. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. Wyatt Doty has pitched 4 innings of work this season. In 60 pitches, he's allowed 2 earned runs on 2 hits as the pitch comes in and stays upstairs, 2-0. He's struck out 2 and he's walked 3, a 3.50 ERA for the senior right-hander who is committed to Cal State San Bernardino. 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch. That one misses low and away. 3-0 the count here on Tanner Wilcoxon. On deck is Brock Worthgen, junior pitcher and catcher. A lot of Lancers getting their first plate appearances here tonight. Here comes the 3-0. That one's in there for a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike. Wilcoxon, an infielder in his junior season, has a lengthy, wiry frame. Right-hander, open stance, bends the knees a bit at the plate. Here's a ground ball. That's going to get through for a base hit. They'll stop the runner at third. Tejeda will stop at third. That'll load the bases here for Worthgen, and still nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th.
Your attention, please. This change for your Lancers. Now batting, number 31, Brock Worthgen.
So Tejeda at third. Over at second base is Parita. And over at first is Wilcoxon here for Brock Worthgen. Right-hander with an even stance. Pops up the first pitch he sees, and that one will get out of play, 0-1. Worthgen hitting in the slot for Mikey Romero, who finishes up his night at the plate, 2 for 3. Single, a triple, a walk, 2 runs scored tonight. He also grounded out to third. Now it's Worthgen's turn. Here comes the pitch. Curveball upstairs, and it's 1-1. pitcher and a catcher. Brock Worthgen has the ankle guard on the front foot, the left ankle. Bends the knees at the plate. Shortens up that strike zone a bit. Here comes the pitch, a curveball, and that one's called a strike at the letter. The count is 1-2. Wind still blowing out to right, mid-50s the temperature here in Orange. 17 base hits for the Lancers here tonight. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Curveball. This one a ground ball. Could be 2. Picked up by the shortstop for 1. Over to 2 for a double play. Tejeda does score from third, however. And the Lancers make it a 10-run lead, 11-1. But with 2 outs and a runner at third, it'll be Jake Fuentes making his way to the plate.
Your attention, please. This change for your Lancers, now batting, number 28.
So a 6-up, 3 double play, run scores. 11-1 Orange Lutheran, and Jake Fuentes, a right-hander with a slightly open stance. This one a one-hopper, and that one gets under the glove of the shortstop. Another run will score as Parita comes in from third. And Jake Fuentes has got a base hit here in the ball game. (12-1 Orange Lutheran, 18 hits. That's more than the Lancers have had in their first 3 games combined. And that'll give J.J. Robles an opportunity here, hitting in place of Gabe Miranda, who had the biggest night perhaps of everybody in the lineup. 4 for 4 with 4 runs batted in and 2 runs scored. Robles, like Miranda, a left-hander, watches a curveball miss low, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Miranda 2 singles tonight, a triple and a double. Now it's J.J. Robles who gets the opportunity. Here comes the pitch, and this one lifted into shallow right field. Going out for it is the second baseman. He'll be called off by the right fielder. Hickey will make the catch, and that will do it for the bottom of the 6th inning. But the Lancers tack on 2 more on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We are through 6 here at Hart Park. Last chance for Yucaipa. It's 12-1 Orange Lutheran over the Thunderbirds here in the PBR Invitational Championship game. This is Lancers Baseball on CA Sports Zone and the Coach's Radar.
Adore yourself. Go to adorebeverlyhills.com or Adore Beverly Hills on Instagram. Lancers, now pitching, number 9, Ross Clark.
Top of the 7th we go here at Hart Park. As you just heard, Ross Clark will make his way to the hill to try to close this thing out for Orange Lutheran as the Lancers try to take the PBR Invitational Championship here tonight. They are up 12-1 over Yucaipa with 18 hits. The temperature is cold, but the Lancer bats were hot this evening as they scored at least 2 runs in 5 of their 6 offensive innings here tonight. Ross Clark takes over for Jackson Andeal, and he'll take on Chase Antillon, Wyatt Doty, and Isaiah Walls to try to close this thing out. If anybody gets on base, Gavin Egan would be due up as well. Bottom of the order here for Yucaipa. The Thunderbirds actually scored the first run of the ball game in the top of the 2nd inning, but the Lancers answered with 2 in the bottom half of the frame and have not looked back since. Antillon has the lone run batted in here for Yucaipa. It was a single down the right field line that scored Luke Schur from third base. Since then, he reached on an error in the fourth. He's been on in both of his plate appearances. First pitch is in there for a called strike. It's 0-1. Here comes the pitch, and this one popped up, fouling out of play. 0-2 as Tejeda chases it down but won't have a play. Ross Clark, no decision against Ayala last week on Tuesday. In 3 innings of work, he gave up no runs on 1 hit. He struck out 3 and walked 2. Evan Miranda ended up coming away with the win, though he struggled a bit out of the bullpen. Miranda is up and loosening, but I don't think they'll need him here tonight as Ross Clark tries to get through. Here comes the 0-2. This one a ground ball hit to the third base side. Diving attempt by Mikey Romero, but it gets through, and Antion has reached on all 3 of his plate appearances here tonight, 2 for 3. So leadoff single here for Chase Antion. Wyatt Doty will be due up next. In the middle infielders and Casey Borba all still in the game here for Orange Lutheran. Tejeda behind the plate. Derek Curiel still in center field. Here comes the pitch from Clark on Doty. Swing and a miss. Counts 0-1. All strikes so far here from Clark out of the bullpen. Doty so far tonight 0 for 2. A strikeout and a pop out to shallow right field. Right-hander even stance at the plate. Stands close to the inside line of the batter's box. Here comes the 0-1. This one fouled straight back, and the count goes to 0-2. Ross Clark, the second of those 2 sophomore pitchers. Brady Strom got the start, went 4 innings of work tonight. Kept Yucaipa to 1 run on 3 hits. He struck out 5 and walked 1 on the night. No balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. That one bounces into Tejeda, who blocks it behind home plate. And the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, Antion over at first. Actually, it looks like we might have a pinch runner over there. I'll double check that. One ball, 2 strikes. Ross Clark ready to go here against Doty. Here's the pitch, and this one chopped foul as he just gets a piece of it. Count remains 1-2. That might still be Antion over there at first. Trevor Busby on deck for Yucaipa, a left-handed batter, and a freshman for Ralph Grajeda. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Ground ball hit sharply to third. Borba picks it up to second for 1. Cummings bobbles over to first. Still got it in time. 5-4-3 double play. And just like that, Yucaipa down to its final out as the freshman Busby makes his way to the plate. Shutting down any possibility of any run-scoring attempt here. Busby will now try to keep the game alive here for the Thunderbirds. Just a slight bobble on the transfer there from Cummings, but he still got it over to Robles in time for the second out to complete the double play. Wide open stance here for the freshman left-hander. Here comes the first pitch, and this one fouled off to the left side now to play. Count goes to no balls and 1 strike. Busby 0 for 2 on the year with a strikeout. Good size for a freshman. Bends the knees a bit, shortens it up a little bit in the strike zone. Here comes the 0-1. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2, and Yucaipa down to its final strike here tonight. Should he keep the game going? Another right-hander on deck. I believe that's Carter Elliott who would bat in place of Owen Egan. Here comes the 0-2. Fastball right down the middle, in there for a called strike, and that will do it. Orange Lutheran wins the inaugural PBR Invitational Championship and takes their biggest win of the season by far, 12-1 tonight here over the Yucaipa Thunderbirds, as Orange Lutheran starts 4-0 for the first time since 2020 and just the second time since 2010. 12 runs on 18 hits. Orange Lutheran had it all working tonight here against the Thunderbirds. A tough outing for Yucaipa. as they will bounce back later this week. And again, we know under the leadership of Grajeda, they will get better, and they will, again, be a force to be reckoned with in the Citrus Belt League. But for tonight, it belongs to Orange Lutheran as Brady Strom gets the victory here, going 4 innings of work. He improves to 1-0 tonight. And for Yucaipa, the loss falls to Carter Herrera. He falls to 1-1. Orange Lutheran wins the PBR Invitational Championship, and they start 4-0. We'll be right back to recap it all in just a couple of minutes. This is Lancer Baseball on CASportZone.com and the Coach's Radar. Welcome back to Hart Park. The final score here in this one, Orange Lutheran 12, Yucaipa 1. The Lancers come away with the inaugural PBR Invitational Championship here tonight, and they put it all together really for the first time this season. I mean, of course, 5-0 over Huntington Beach was another great performance, but in terms of offense, I don't think you can get much better than 12 runs on 18 hits here tonight, as Orange Lutheran was dominant from the second inning on, putting up multiple runs in the second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth innings tonight here against Yucaipa. Orange Lutheran improves to 4-0. Yucaipa falls to 3-1. The win goes to Brady Strom, the first for a Lancer starter here in 2022. Strom went 4 innings of work, allowed 3 hits and 1 earned run. He struck out 5 and he walked 1 on the other side. The loss goes to Carter Herrera. He went 3 2/3 innings of work, allowed 6 runs on 12 hits. He walked 2 and he struck out 1. The Cal State Fullerton commit, it was a tough night for him here tonight as the Lancer offense just caught fire. It seemed like once the first couple of hits fell, it was contagious and they just kept going. Each following each inning, they had multiple hits in every inning tonight. And 4 hits in each of the third and fifth innings. The big inning was the fifth, in which they put up 4 runs on 4 hits. All singles in that frame, but again, they just kept putting runners on base and moving them around. The final line scores 12 runs on 18 hits, 1 error, and 9 left on base for Orange Lutheran. On the other side for Yucaipa, 1 run on 5 hits, 3 errors, and 4 left on base. A dominant outing for Orange Lutheran. And the biggest offensive night tonight going to Gabe Miranda. First time in the cleanup role. He certainly did that. He went 4 for 4 with a pair of singles, a triple, a double, 2 runs scored, and 4 runs batted in for the Lancers here tonight. A big night for Gabe Miranda as he starts to feel it here early in the year. We'll see if it translates later this week against Carroll High School. And then in a couple of weeks' time, we open up league play. Hard to believe it's already coming around so soon. But yes, all of March will be league opponents for the Lancers this season as it opens up March 8th against J. Sarah. But we've got one more non-league game to go before that as the Lancers take on Carroll at 3 p.m. on Friday down at J. Sarah Catholic High School. The Dragons, we met them in 2019 up in San Jose. They are in town for a couple of games later this week. They will play J. Sarah on Thursday night, and they will follow it up with a game against Orange Lutheran on Friday afternoon. That'll do it for us tonight. Again, our next Lancer broadcast, 3 p.m. Friday down at J. Sarah as Orange Lutheran takes on Carroll High School out of Southlake, Texas. And one more time, the final score here tonight, Orange Lutheran 12 and Yucaipa 1. The Lancers are 4-0 for the first time since 2020, and they will look to keep it up on Friday against Carroll. Until then, we say so long. This has been Orange Lutheran Baseball on CA Sports Zone and the Coaches Radar. And again, congratulations to the Lancers, inaugural PBR Invitational champions here in Orange on a Monday night. So long, everybody. Good night.